All right. Hello, how's everybody doing? Um, Welcome to tonight's show. I'm going to be talking about something. I'm going to be talking about interracial relationships, interracial marriage. I'm going to be talking about stats when it comes to black women, white men, and why I believe black women, white men are the best choice, are the power couple, and stats back that up. Hey, by the book, how's it going? Um, and I'm going to talk about that. And I'm going to talk about percentages and studies people have done when it comes to marriages. And, I'll talk about who is the most successful group when it comes to marriage and who is the most successful group when it comes to interracial marriage. Okay. Um, a lot of people got misconceptions, but if you look at the numbers, Um, for me, it's not a surprise at all. But some people, it is a surprise. And anyway, I hope you guys like the intro. I've been working on it, and but I'm going to show you this commercial to kind of get in the mood of tonight's topic. Um, and let me just put this up here while people are coming on. Sandra, Sandra. So hold on a minute. Sorry about that. The TV in the next room over went on and it was loud, so I had to go turn it off. Sorry about the interruption there. Afro Angelique, good to see you. How you doing? And Red Soul, how's it? Oh, look at Rico Suave. Okay, thank you very much. But anyway, I'm going to talk about black women, white men. Why black women, white men are the power couple? Why they're the best choice, and why, when it comes to marriage, black women, white men are winning. Okay, and winning big. And but I'm going to go into some stats, and I'm going to talk a little bit about it. Stuff that I've read. Um, I got a screenshot of some stats there, but marriage in America and marriage, well, worldwide is declining. We all know this, right? Um, People don't value marriage like they once did. Okay. Um, you know, there's still quite a few people that value marriage. I value marriage. I think marriage is the most important thing when it comes to family, when it comes to your community, when it comes to the city you live in, when it comes to the country. Um, a strong family builds a strong nation. And I think everybody, should be able to get married if that's what they want to do. And I encourage it. Every racial group, I pray, has a great marriage. I don't wish no ill on nobody. Um, Black women, white men, when it comes interracially, are the most successful. Okay, that's a stat that makes me happy. Now, I don't wish the other combinations not to be successful. I don't. I want everybody to be successful. We're better off. The more successful marriages, the better our nation is. And whether you live in a neighborhood where marriage ain't so good, it still affects you. It affects us all. Good marriages affects us all too in a good way. Um, but before I talk about this, I want to show you an interracial commercial. It looks like two teenagers getting ready to the prom. It's a Volkswagen commercial, and I'll show it to you and just just to show you some video before I pull up this stat here. Go ahead and add this.
Tiguan, the SUV that puts you in control.
Okay. All right, cute commercial, right? You know this commercial? Yeah. I've showed it before. It's I actually got some downloads of different interracial commercials. Most of them are black men with white women, but there are some with black women, white men. Um, but I do, and maybe I'll do a show again about that, showing some interracial commercials. Um, People think that when they show interracial commercials that it's some kind of propaganda and they want to get people to go a certain way. And no, actually, it's a marketing thing. They're seeing trends happen. They're seeing interracial relationships and marriages growing across the board. So companies and corporations are going to tap into that, even though it's a minority group of people, because they want business from everybody, you know. Um, but I want to talk about this, and I'm so passionate in that. I'm so passionate in this because we're having successful marriages when it comes to black women, white men. Um, and it's amazing because right now, and people can argue this with me and disagree, but I believe that black women, white men are the most hated couple when it comes to today's world and today's time in 2022. Okay, more people are more open to interracial relationships. Yes, that's true. More people are more accepting of interracial marriages. Yes, that is a good thing. Uh, oh, thanks, Satona Smith. Thank you so much for the $5 super sticker. Uh, I appreciate that. Thank you. Uh, God bless you. That's awesome. Um, but that's the stats. I mean, black women and white men are very successful when it comes to marriage. Now, does that mean that they all work? No. I mean, you have good and bad people in every group, but statistically, doing very well. And when I started dating, when I got married, I knew I was in a successful marriage. I knew I had a good wife, and I knew black women were awesome. There's something special about black women, and that's what attracted me to black women is their character and the love that they have. Um, it wasn't just all looks, okay? Of course, black women are beautiful, but what's inside really got me. What's inside, got my heart, and it started really young. And for me, interracial marriage is not a trend for me. It's a way of life. That's the path I chose, and you know, and I'm thankful for that. And I'm blessed. I got a good wife, and you know, and I think it's good that I share that. I think it's good when you got a blessing, you share it. Okay, and I wish marriage for everybody to be successful. Um, Yeah, I definitely have a great wife. Yeah, thanks, Afro Angelique. Yeah, and she keeps me in check. But um, yeah, I do. And when we were dating, I almost lost her because of my being young and dumb and stupidity. But I got my head together and have been married for 28 years, going strong, and very blessed. But we are the power couple, and And I don't have no hate for any other interracial couple. I celebrate interracial relationships and marriage of all combinations, all groups of people. I have love for people that love each other that of a different race. We should be able to do that if that's what we want. And if you want to stay within your race, you can do that too. Nothing wrong with that. We all have preferences, right? And we all believe, what the best choice is, what the best decision is. And hey, pro white leadership, LV, Sandy is the one and only, yes. And it's kind of funny because I share my marriage and stuff, and sometimes I get trolls that come in, and mostly men that will say rude stuff about me and my wife and call me a fetishizer. They still, I guess, I can't get rid of that title. It seems weird. 28 years of marriage, and it's like people want you to be that way. It's not that they believe it; they want it to be true. Um, and I think some people don't even know what a fetishization is. Um, but I had some woman, well, it appears to be a black woman, that said, just because I went against society, just because I've been married all these years, don't mean I'm not a fetishizer. So I guess I got that title, I guess. But it's kind of funny because when you look at that, um, us as white men somehow got that label as fetishizers. When you see black men fetishizing all the time, I guess talking about butts and light skin is not a fetishization. That's not body parts. That's not objectifying women at all. Most certainly not. But when a white man says they love black women, that's a fetishization. He's fetishizing. Um, I'm just being funny. But here's the thing. I've been looking at stats, right? And I've been looking at marriage stats. And when you look at, and I ain't got the percentages of marriages, but I looked at what is the most successful marriage down to the least successful. And what I found is Asians, okay? Asian men and Asian women in America have the most successful marriages of the same race. They do. And I was looking, and I think it was white people was number two, but they also have a high divorce. White people have a high divorce rate, so I don't know if that's kind of but they put white people and white men and Asian women like almost in the same percentage of marriages, and I think it was black, and then I see Native American had a high divorce rate, and that, but anyway, Asians are leading the way when it comes to marriage, and I think it's because they're more traditional, more family orientated. Um, and plus economically, they're leading the way statistically. Um, but when I go look at interracial relationships, interracial marriages, right? And I want to put this up here. I hope you guys can see this. Okay, I kind of screenshot this. I don't know. Can you guys see it? If you can, I'll read it. But I was doing a search on marriage, statistics and stuff. And what it says here is white wife, black husband marriages show twice the divorce rate of white wife and white husband couples. Okay, so that's saying that a white woman and black man married is twice as likely to get a divorce than a white man and white woman, right? So, um, and that didn't surprise me, but it says, and this was by a 10-year marriage. Okay, this was a 10-year study, but it says where black wife and white husband marriages are 44% less likely to end in divorce than a white wife and white husband, couples over the same period. So this study shows that a black woman, white man marriage is more successful than a black man, white woman marriage. And a black woman, white man marriage is more successful than a marriage between a white man and white woman. And it's 44% less likely to end in divorce. Amazing, right? So what does that tell you? That tells you that for a white man that's looking for a wife, the best chance for success is for that white man to marry a black woman. And there are other stats that other studies that show this. And 44% less likely to end in divorce. I don't know if you guys can see that. I don't know the screenshots real well, but I'll read it again. Okay. White wife, black husband marriages show twice the divorce rate of white wife, white husband. Okay. So if you're a white woman, black man, you have you're more likely to be in divorce twice as much as a white man, white woman. Okay. But when it's a black wife, white husband, you're more successful than a white wife, white husband, and 44% less likely to end in divorce. That's pretty amazing. Okay. And who is the group that's mostly attacked? Black women, white men. I mean, hands down. I know there's people that attack white women and black men. Yes. I mean, there's racism and stuff, but mostly black women, white men get it from both ends, from racist and from the black community. Not all, but a number, right? But that's the most successful. And then I looked in it too. Black women, white men marriages are more successful than white men and Asian women, and also more successful than uh, you know, Hispanic woman and white man. More successful than that. So what's that tell you? When it's in a racial marriage, the most successful is black women, white men. But yet, white men are considered racist, fetishizers, and monsters. But when black women marry us, our marriages last longer. We're more successful. So actually, who really loves black women if you're looking at stats? Seriously. And the same can be said about black women and white men. Asian man, white woman. Yeah, we black women, white men are more successful than that combo also. Yes. And here's the thing, and that's right, KP. Our marriages, you know, our bond is very strong. You know, we're more strategic on how we go about it too. You got to think, once we get to that part where we're taking that step in marriage, we already been beat down. We already have fought the good fight before we're even in that relationship. Think about it. And I think it's a shame that anybody should be shamed for marrying who they love. And it saddens me that black women, will get attacked and shamed for dating outside the race. And especially if it's a white guy, they'll be called bed wenches, traitors, sellouts, all that stuff. But if you look in the black community, only 1 out of 4 black women are getting married. So within the black community, and I'm not saying all, I'm looking at stats, right? 25 to 30% will get married. Black women, white men. I mean, black women, black men. 25 to 30% are going to get married. So in that community, they're the least likely to get married. And then their marriages are not all that successful. I think it's actually the worst, except for black men, white women. That's the worst for divorce. I mean, they have the highest divorce rate than anybody. And these are studies people have done. I'm not making this up, and I don't wish it to be that way at all. I want all marriages to last. And that's not saying all. There are successful marriages in every group and there are failures in every group. But if you look at it statistically, black women, white men are winning the day. And that's with everything thrown at us but the kitchen sink. The fetishization, the being a racist, being all this stuff that, I've been accused of ever since I was dating. And the fetishizing thing, I've been called that, even though I'm only married to one woman. I've been married for 28 years. I have children by one woman. So I'm not going around lusting after women. My eyes, my wants and desires belong to my wife. And that's where that goes, nowhere else. And I think morally, black women, white men have more of a sound structure. We're strategic. When we get together, we know that's what we want. And we're strong enough to battle through it, through society, through community and family and what everybody thinks. Okay. Not all. Some fail because people can't handle that can't handle the shaming, but I mean, that's a stat, and they've been doing studies, and I looked under different studies. I look at Pew Research is a good one. If you guys want to look up this data, you can. I'm talking about this because this is what I read, and I don't know who's more successful, black women, white men, or Asians. They're both pretty high up there for marriage success rate. But it's easier for Asians because they're already built in structure and, they're very traditional. But black women and white men, we have to fight against the odds. We have to fight our communities. We have to fight society. We have to fight the stereotypes and generalizations. Okay. Now, here's another thing. And you can research these stats, right? And I've had trolls come in there and try to check me. They say, oh, you think black women are great? Here's this. Black women are the most, have the most single mothers, least married, high divorce rate. But here's the thing. And I tell these trolls that tell me that, I say, yeah, that's in your community. But when black women marry white men, it's the total opposite. We're the most successful. And I think it's a cultural thing where marriage, not being married is acceptable. And that can be damaging. And I don't blame women for that because women are looking for that man to come and, be that provider, be that husband. And some women are holding on to a dream, and black women are, the most race loyal. So, they're suffering because they're waiting for the men in their community to come through. Now, I'm not saying they're all like that because some do come through. Some will be good husbands. But looking at the stats, it don't look very good. Well, it don't look good across the board. But the most successful, black women, white men, hands down. I think sometimes black women are fed a pipe dream within their community. And, the perception is the white man's so evil. He's just lustful and a fetishizer and he racist and just mean and just, but even with that propaganda and then, black women being told that us white men don't want you. That's another scare tactic. Or if we date black women, she's got to have a certain body shape or look a certain way, which is a bunch of BS. All men are different. And especially white men, we're so much different it ain't even funny. We might look alike, but we're a lot different. We really are. Um, but when we get together, our marriages work. You know, our marriages are solid. And I give it to the black woman because the black woman has character. The black woman has a big heart. You give a black woman some love, she'll give you everything. Serious. When a black woman loves you, she loves you. You know, and it's heartbreaking to see some of these ladies in relationships with guys that treat them like crap, but they still hold on for hope. They still looking for the guy to change or try to change him. Nobody can change a man but God, and the man's got to want to change. Um, but it's people say that's crazy. How can, and I remember when stats were coming out, people said, well, how can that be? They're racist, they're fetishizing. How could it be lasting? Well, maybe all them stereotypes are wrong. Maybe most of us aren't racist and fetishized. Maybe a lot of us really actually love black women. Maybe a lot of us actually have a big heart and see the true beauty in the black woman. Maybe we have love and respect for black women. When I think a lot in their community don't. And I'm just looking at stats and what I see on YouTube, what I see in the media. And it drives me crazy when I see YouTube telling black women, you need to step it up. You need to do better. You need to do this. I mean, when I look at women, black women are doing the most. I mean, they're the most loyal, the most loving. Some women are trying to fix the men they're with. They're even working and pulling the weight. What more does a black woman have to do? The only thing I ever wanted from a black woman I was dating or, in love with is just to be with me. When I married my wife, Sandy, I just wanted her to be my wife. I didn't care what she brought to the table. The only thing I wanted her to bring to the table is her love, her loyalty, and her beautiful self. That's it. Those three things. Those are three requirements. Ladies, this is what you should bring to the table: your love, loyalty, and your beautiful self. That's it. The man should take care of the rest. Being the provider, paying the bills, working. Okay. Us as men, we have, a stronger upper body. Why is that? It's to go to work. It's to provide for your family, to protect them. You're stronger than your wife, not to beat on her, but to protect her, to work. We're designed to work. We're not designed to sit on the couch. But you look at that stat, and to me, people say that's amazing. How could that happen? It don't surprise me at all. From what I've seen in black women, that don't surprise me. Not at all. And I think a lot of times where it's successful with black women, white men, us as white men, we don't have automatic access to black women. When we look at it, we look at it as a privilege that she would even talk to us. We look at it as a blessing that she would have a relationship with us. That's how I always looked at it. When I met my wife, it was a privilege. She talked to me. It was a blessing. We had a relationship in a marriage. I had to work for that. And, black women aren't in our community. We got to get out and get to know them. We got to approach them. We got to work. So when you work for something, don't you appreciate it more than when it's just right there? Or you think it's owed to you? You think because, and a lot of these men, out there think that black women belong to them because they're black. No. No woman belongs to a man except his wife. That's it. That's it. Or maybe your daughters till they grow up and choose their own path. But other than that, you don't owe nobody. And if you have access to a woman, it's because she allowed it, and it's a blessing. You know, women were put on this earth, to be with men. We could build families together. We could, uh, that's how God intended the family to be. What's that, Mark? Pray for PPP. Oh, she's suffering for COVID. Yeah, I'll be praying for her. Me and Sandy will. Pray for PPP. She's got COVID. Um, yeah, I will, Mark. I'll pray, and you guys pray for PPP. Um, COVID's not a fun thing to have. I've had it. My wife's had it. All my kids have had it. My granddaughter had it. She didn't even have symptoms, but it affects people different ways. So pray that she gets healthy quick and that virus leaves her body and she can be stronger. Okay. The black community is pestered with high rates of diseases. Why many are in polygamous relationships and many men sleep both. You know, that I've heard of the polygamous relationships and stuff, the polygamous groups. But when you have a community that don't get married, are very where what 30% is 25 to 30% is the marriage rate. When you have a community like that, and maybe that's skewed because sometimes black people get married later on in life too. So, but when you have a high group that doesn't get married, you're going to deal with diseases because people sleep around. And today's society, people date and go to the bedroom. I mean, it is what it is. That's what they do. Is it right? No. That's one thing about marriage. It protects you from diseases and stuff. As long as both the husband and wife are faithful, then you're protected. Yeah, you're protected from all that stuff. And then you're protected from heartbreak and being mentally messed up. It's not good to have multiple intimate relationships. It's not meant to be. It'll mentally destroy you, both men and women. It's not meant to be. It's supposed to be a man and a woman. That's it. Yeah, praying for PPP. Oh, you're welcome, Mark. But you know, and here's the crazy thing: when I talk about black women, when I say nice things, most people show me love and say thank you and stuff, and it's pretty neat. Um, but I get haters come in and call me a fetishizer and call me a panderer and all this other crazy stuff. And some trolls have been, have came in and said rude things about my wife. And to me, that's not a man. That's a male and a woman. That's a woman in a male's body. Really is. Um, God's covenant is marriage for us. Yeah. Um, but it's crazy. I'll get attacks for that. Attacks for And what does it hurt if I give black women a compliment? Why is it a bad thing? But people want to check me for that. I mean, why? I mean, if there's a man complimenting white women or Asian, I don't care. I don't even. Hey, if that's what you feel, say it. We should all, say how we feel. We should all be honest, right? Do haters really go out of their way. Um, Most of the haters, they do it in the comment section. I had a couple email me, but they usually don't. And I think it's because I got their email, or unless they, make up, put together a quick email and delete it. I mean, they could do that too. But usually I get hate through the comment section. I had one woman tell me that, uh, well, it appeared to be a woman. I don't know. People put pictures up there, but said that she was a black woman married to a white guy, and she don't like men that invest in one group of women. Like, what does that mean? I mean, I guess her husband's not that way. Well, he probably don't celebrate her. Probably don't say good things, and she's probably upset and think it's not supposed to be that way. I don't know. Better to row marry than to burn. But anyway, I just, I've heard so many stereotypes and generalizations out there, and it's crazy. And for me to fit all those things, I'd have to be the most evil person on earth. It's crazy. And to those trolls that give me qualifiers that say because I have to, since I'm married to a black woman and I love black women, that I have to fight for reparations. I have to fight racism. I have to fight, do all this stuff. Okay. And I don't like racism. And I don't have a problem with black people getting compensation for sins of the past. I don't. But the bottom line is, I'm not a politician. I don't have power to do that. But what I would say to them, here's a qualifier for you. You want your community to benefit? You want black people to thrive? Marry the women in your community. How about that? Instead of trying to check a white guy for having love for black women, why don't you have love for black women, sir? Why don't you marry the women in your community? Why don't you get it from 25 to 30% to 80, 90%? That's what I would say. That'd be my response. Because the best way you can show the women you love in your community is making them your wife, providing for them, loving them, but then, you got these leaders out there that give excuses like this Umar Johnson. He blames, the marriage rate in the black community on the snow bunny crisis. Well, coming from a beta male, that makes sense. Blame women, right? Blame white women. It's not their fault black men pursue white women. I mean, is it? But that makes sense because a lot of those betas blame black women for the problem, you know? But you know what? In a community, it's the men that are at fault or the men that are successful. It's not the women. The men are the leaders. So if your community goes down the tubes, if your marriage rate goes down and your kids are suffering because they only have a mother to raise them, that's your fault as men. Attacks everyone, complains white women. Yeah, they do. They compliment anybody that compliments black women a simp. I think they attack anybody that does anything they're supposed to biblically. You're supposed to marry a, the woman that you lay down with, aren't you? Self-love, self-respect, self-accountability. Yeah. Simps, strong, intelligent, masculine providers, special. I'll take that any day. Oh man, that is awesome, LV. You got, hey, that there you go. That's what it is. simps, strong, intelligent, masculine providers. Yeah, because the ones calling other men simps, and they do it to black men that are, doing the right thing, or white men that compliment black women because they ain't strong enough to do the right thing. They're not strong enough to marry the women in their community. They just want to use women. They think that's where the power is, getting what you can out of women. So if somebody calls me that, that's a compliment. I'm just simply doing what God wants me to do. Be a provider, take care of my wife and children. And these people that got hate, can you say you've been married to a black woman 28 years? Can you say that? Can Umar Johnson, the leader that he is, say that he is married to a black woman for 28 years? Does he even have a black wife? I mean, he talks, a good game, but he never has solutions. He just says black women stay away from white men, and it's the snow bunny crisis. That's the problem. No, the problem is morals. The problem is people ain't getting married and taking care of their responsibility. The problem is out of birth rate. The problem is blaming others for your failure, blaming the women in your community for your failure as a man. That's where the problem is. So do I really try hard to but and I don't have hate for black men. I don't. I really don't. But the stats aren't good. Well, men are weak across the board. The stats ain't good in any community. But it seems that the black community is leading the way when the out of birth rate, not getting married. They'll pin it on black women. I see them do it all the time. But you can't say that black women have the highest out of birth rate and you not be at fault. Women do not give birth, do not get pregnant on their own. And then when they try to find a man that loves them and open up their options, then you're going to shame her for it. That sounds like oppression to me. In fact, I think some of these beta males need to turn it around. And you see a white guy with a black woman, give him a hug and say, thanks for taking care of the women in our community because you weren't strong enough to do it. And I'm not saying all. I know people are going to go in on me on this one. Oh, you're saying we're all like, no, I'm not. Where is Umar's school? Yeah, where is it? Where's Umar? Where's Umar's wife? He says he loves black women. Does he have a black wife? I could say I love black women more than that guy does. And he'd call me a caveman, a knuckle dragger. Yeah, but you know what? I know how to take care of a family. And, this guy's like a celebrity. And my wife will get more love, more respect than he will give any woman he's with. I can pretty much confidently say that. But this ain't an Umar bash show, which he needs to be bashed a little bit, in the mid-20s when Umar talked about that school. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with that school, but I don't know. I've heard people talk about it, and I've heard them make videos, begging for grit money. He wants to take your grocery money for his school that probably will never exist. But I don't know. He probably have lawsuits too, because if he wants black people not to be married to white people or have affiliation, there are anti-discrimination laws even against white people. So I don't think that's going nowhere. I think it was just a thing, but I could be wrong. It ain't got a roof. Well, did you guys see his wedding, or what was it? Fashion show, publicity stunt. That was a joke, wasn't it? And then he was all over that one because she had light skin. I thought he was pro-black, and I don't know. I think the guy has a snow bunny. I do. I think Umar has a fetish for white women. I do. I really do. And because but I think he hides it. I could be wrong, but he talks about white women so much, the snow bunny crisis, like he's infatuated with it. Like it seems like he desires that. Because I've seen pro black men that are like black all the way, but end up with a white woman. I've seen it over and over that talk the same way that guy does. I think he's got a hidden snow bunny himself. I really do. You know what? I would bet money on he does. He just hasn't been caught yet. He will. He will. Most pro walks got a white fetish. Yeah. And that's crazy because and I what I think, guys, this thing about fetish, I don't think people are upset about white men fetish. I don't. I think it's just a thing to say that white men are the wrong choice. Just another scare tactic. I think it's to keep, you know, black women from dating out. I think it's a tool to scare black women to think white men are so crazy that they won't go near them. I think that's what it is because it's used so much. It's like, oh my God, you're going to keep saying that? It's like, but black men fetish all the time. I mean, gosh, they talk about big butts and light skin, and I, I mean, isn't that a fetish? Isn't that the definition? Sexual gratification of a body part, looking at a woman as an object instead of a person. I think that's what it kind of means. Having love for a woman's not a fetish. That's just having love for her. Yeah, they do fetish all the time. I see it all the time, and I laugh at it. You're gonna call me a fetishizer because I say I love black women. Really? I can understand it if I was dating multiple women, but I'm married to one woman, have been for 28 years. I mean, that's not a fetish. That's doing your duties as a man, as a husband. They see you as one body part. Yeah. Well, when people do the pump and dump, I would say they're probably fetishizers. They don't really care about the woman they're with. They just want that sexual gratification, fulfill that sexual lust, and then they bounce. And that's the thing. And I tell people, if you're so worried about white men fetish, what about the out of birth rate? What about getting pumped and dumped? What about what about that? I mean, but the fetishization is so horrible that the out of birth rate's okay. Not marrying the women you impregnate, that's okay. But the white man fetish, oh, that we can't have that. Like, I don't get it. I'm just like, really? And it's like it's weird. It's like they shame men that are doing what they're supposed to as men. It's weird. Like it's a weakness to marry a woman. Like it's a weakness to show a woman true love and do what you're supposed to as a man. But I guess that makes sense, right? What do they say? The simp is the opposite of a pimp, and that's what they want to be pimping out women. You know, getting the most you can out of women, benefiting yourself. But when you do that, you don't benefit yourself. You drive women away from you. You damage your community. And I'm telling you, God will judge men on how they treat women. God put women on this earth, and women are a blessing. Women are a treasure. And I've said this, black women are that hidden treasure. They're loving, They got character. They're beautiful. And we see black women every day. And a lot of people out there don't know how awesome black women are. They don't. And a lot of them, they just haven't been around black women. And what they hear is, what's in the media, what society is saying. But I will say this, after looking at the studies, when it comes to white men, black women, you win the day. Because here's the thing, black women can keep a Brad better than a Maylene, a Maria, or a Becky, or a Karen. Black women are more stable than all the other groups of women when it comes to white men. Even the women in our community, we have more success with marriage with black women than any group of women out there. That's what the stats show. And this ain't me making this up. You can research it on Google. You can look at all the different studies, and they all show black women, white men being successful, marriage lasting longer. Black women, white men have a 44% less divorce rate than white men and white women. Think about that. Let that sink in. And white men and white women don't get shamed for marrying each other. They don't have to explain why they love that person. They don't have to, deal with an uncle or an aunt or even a mom or dad or a family member or so-called friend trying to drive them apart. They don't have to deal with that. It's easy. They're in their community. But the most attacked are black women, hands down. And white men are attacked quite a bit too, with the generalization and the stereotypes. And then black women are shamed for going for white men. But yet, with all that, that's the most successful marriage group. Hands down. You can't tell me black women and white men aren't meant for each other. Tell me I'm wrong. I know a lot of people will argue, say, no, that you're supposed to be within your own race. But why are our marriages more successful? Why are our marriages longer lasting? Is it because we're doing what we're supposed to as a man and woman? Is it because we have true love? Is it because we have character? Is it because we feel there's nothing we can't accomplish? And I hear people talk about white supremacy, oppression, all this stuff. But you know what I see? I see black women rising above all that and outdoing defying all odds and being the most educated, the most successful group of women with the least resources. If anybody should complain, it should be black women because they carry the load in their community. Black women put other people above themselves, and not just black people, white people too. I've seen it. Black women are very loving, compassionate. And you see them going to bat for the men in their community over and over and over and over again. And you can't tell me black women ain't the best choice. You can't tell me. And you know what? Us white men that love black women and want to marry black women, it's because we see the truth. It's because we see the treasure that black women really are. And that's the most, and you can't call us self-haters because if you love yourself, you want the best for yourself. So you would choose the black woman. That's what I did. But you know what? I had to work for it. I had to earn my wife's love and respect. Black women I dated, I had to earn that. I had to prove that I was a good man. I had to prove that I was worthy. And that's good. I should. Ladies, any man you date, whether black, white, or whatever, he should earn the privilege to be with you. And it's a privilege. And he only gets that if you allow it. And it's not just a privilege, it's a blessing. But he's got to earn that. He's got to prove himself as a man. Nothing's automatic. You know, I'm going to drop the link if you guys want to come on. If anybody wants to come on and talk about this. Um, but I know this is going to be triggering from some people. Anytime I say good things about black women, uh, you know, I create some triggers, and especially when I say that black women, white men are the best option. You know, I'm gonna get some haters for that. People are hating me right now. I got some troll hate watchers. You know, they're out there. But tell me, trolls, if white men are such fetishizers, such racist, why are white men more successful when they marry black women than any other group of women? Answer that one for me. I'm just saying. And you know what? Becky can't have a successful marriage like Keisha can with the Brad. Maria, Mailing, all the groups of women can't compete with black women. Seriously, statistically. And why isn't this talked about more? It's like sometimes you got to dig for this stuff. Sometimes they try to like suppress it, but the truth comes out. You know. Hey, Afro Angelique, how's it going?
Pretty good, Brent. You know I can't resist coming on.
Yeah, it gets tempting. Uh,
Yeah, you have that addictive thing going on, and I'm just. It's like you dropping so much fire tonight. Um,
well, it kind of, I just ask these questions because the thing of it is the fetishization of the white man is so bad, and I don't promote fetishization. Don't get me wrong. I'm against it. But here's the thing: that's talked about so much, like it's so dangerous. But yet, in the black community's 25 to 30% marriage rate, it's like, what's going on? The biggest group of out of birth rate. And they'll try to check me on that and say, okay, black women are so great. There you go. And these will be black men telling me this. And I'll just return it and say, yeah, it's in your community. You're doing it. It's your fault. And, it's like you're telling on yourself. It would be like me saying our community's, messed up because white women. I mean, that to me is dumb because if
you
you're
know
the leader,
what?
it's your fault.
It's like this: when people can't look in the mirror and face the things that they've done and have not done in their own life, they have to find a reason for why they can't do it. And so, who's the scapegoat?
Yeah. And you know what I find amazing? I've seen black women do this. And black women, are loving. They love the men in their community. And I have nothing against that. I think that's a beautiful thing. I just wish the men would show the love back. But they'll come in and it's like they'll say stuff about white men, how black men are better and different. And I'm like, but your marriage rate, but the out of birth rate.
Oh,
I'm
I saw,
just like,
I saw a very interesting video today about a white woman saying the reason why white women want black men is because they can hold their power of their whiteness over their heads. And I'm just like, and
huh?
this is and that the power structure changes so that the white woman, it now has the power instead of the black man. And I'm just like, If
Really?
Yeah, and I was like, that's very interesting, and I can't fathom just like being with somebody just because you think you have a power trip over them because of your race. And then I can't think of any of being with somebody just because now. I mean, I used to be like that. Like I've got to be with a black man, and now it's more like I got to be who cares about me, who loves me, who proves to me, who shows me that I am that they appreciate me, and not just for the color of my skin.
Yeah. Um, yeah, and I that's weird. But I've heard I heard this one guy say, and this was a black man. He was saying on YouTube that that black women should not date out, that it's wrong, and that for the community they should stay within, for the collective and this and that. And he says, but black men doing it, it's not as bad because they're getting back at the white man. And I'm like, if you're going for a group of women to get at a man, you don't love that woman. What are you doing? And the
Hmm.
women in your community you don't love because you're having sexual relations to get at a man. That I don't know. That just blows my mind. It's like that makes no sense to me. Um, and truth be told, most white men don't care if black men date white women or marry them. In fact, we celebrate it. In fact, a lot of times you'll see white men, you know, trying showing love to black men for being with a white woman to show, hey, we're not racist. We think it's great. But the other way around, it's like all hell breaks loose. It's weird. I
It's, I
it's
think it's really because most people black women shouldn't have anything. You're perfectly okay for us to take care of your kids, but we're not okay to have our own lives to be winning. So once we start winning, then people have problems.
yeah, it appears that way. I mean, but if black women got the credit for what they do, I mean, it's just amazing. And the thing of it is, when you show love, it's like people get mad. It's like, and maybe it's coming from a white guy. They think, oh, okay, you're not supposed to be with black women. You know, I guess that's it. But it seems like there's more tearing down than lifting up.
It look Unfortunately, even within black women with each other, you very small part of the community that actually lifts each other up, and it's more easily to be found that black women are tearing each other down than they are lifting each other up. And then there's a very small, you might find a pocket here and there where black women are doing their level best to uplift each one of us. We're uplifting each other because you have to kind of weed out the people that are sabotaging us on the low low.
Mm.
So you have that, and then you have black men saying, hey, you should just support us and lift us up and do whatever for us and us, but then not doing the same thing for us. So it's just like everybody wants something from us, but no one wants to do anything for us.
Mm.
And after a certain amount of time, it just gets tiring. So now you have a lot of black women that just going to do them.
Yeah, you know what? And they should. Black women should do them. Black women deserve a lot more than they get.
Hmm.
And I can say that without even thinking about it. It's obvious. I've seen black women, I mean, I've seen them go that extra mile for men that didn't deserve them. And
Hmm.
they hold out for hope. They're there, they're loving, they just give it their all. And if anybody should be able to date or go wherever they want to go, it should be black women. Because in my opinion, they've more than earned, that. I think, you know, Black women are the best choice. I do. And I don't just say that because my wife's black. I say it because I see it. I
You
say it.
experience it.
I do. I really do. I've experienced it in my life. And I haven't been, and I, I never lived in the so-called black community. Okay. Black people were a minority and where I lived, but I could see the beauty. I could see the things that black women do. And I could feel the love and I could feel, you know,
You get it
it,
from
it
your wife and your daughters.
yeah. And it's amazing. It's like, I don't, it drives me crazy that people don't see what I see. Either they just not around black women, or their eyes are shut, or they so knee deep in stereotypes and generalizations they think that's the way things are. But
Hmm.
when you get to know them, it's like, wait a minute.
People see what they want to see, and they see what they expect to see. So if something happens that's radically different, it's like their brain can't compute.
Yeah,
So yeah, that's unfortunate. It's unfortunate that that's what happens. But it's like, for like, if you think about a black woman,
hmm,
everything about a black woman is stolen from her.
hmm.
So you have fashion trends that originate with black women. You have our features and our bodies that are imitated by other women, mainly white women trying to originate, saying that they originate this look when they didn't.
Yeah, like the
No,
Kardashians.
yes, like you have Bo Derek. Like, we couldn't have braids, but Bo Derek comes out with braids in 10,
Oh
and all
yeah,
of a sudden it's a great fashion thing for white women. So
yeah,
everybody should be able to do it. You have our philosophies or whatever. We're okay. It's okay for black women to take care of everybody's kids, but it's not okay for black women to be the smartest person in the room.
yeah. Which they are actually. Black women are the smartest in the room. Um, Hey, thanks, J10. My daughter's got her a channel. I'm proud of her. She's doing awesome. I mean, she's 20. She looks like she's 14 though. But it's cute. She's got her little YouTube. She talks about hair and stuff, and yeah. But it's crazy because between my wife and daughter, we got more hair care products than Sally's does. We could put Sally out of business. I'm telling you.
You were saying that the other night. If you could have saw the look on Sarity's face, though.
Yeah, because she knows I'm right. I mean, gosh, we got. You got to see our bathrooms. I
Mm.
mean, all kinds of
It's
different soap and uh, bath
it
stuff.
takes a lot,
Yeah, and hair products, shampoos, conditioners.
and you
Uh,
constantly experimenting because you keep finding better and better products.
mhm,
But look,
yeah.
my philosophy on black women, people are putting down black women. It's just that you hate us because you can't beat us. So
Yeah,
that's where I'm at with that.
I think a lot of it's jealousy. Yeah.
Hmm.
Oh, thanks, J9. Truly beauty, well spoken. Yeah, she's awesome. Um, she's a good girl. Well, a woman now. She's a good woman. She's got her head on straight. She does. She's real smart. Does good in school. You know, she was on the dance team all through high school, and you
Hmm.
know, she does her. And she's now she's going to college and stuff. So she wants to be a NICU nurse. You know
Okay.
that that handles premature babies because she
Hmm.
was premature, so she wants to do that. So
That's so nice.
yeah, it hits home with her, because it's an emotional thing with her, well, with all of us, because she's our youngest, and I almost lost my wife with her.
Hmm.
My youngest daughter. So my youngest daughter, gets emotional and feels bad. It's not her fault, but
Mm-mm.
she kind of, and it's right in her heart. So she wants to be a nurse and take care of premature babies, and I think that's good. That's a good career, and plus it something that's in her heart.
As long as she's doing what as long as she's doing what she loves, it will never feel like work.
Yeah, that's the key. I wish I could have a job like that because my job feels like work.
Look, if you get this channel monetized, then hey, it might happen.
Oh yeah. Well, that's a big if and a long way to go. So I'm just going to have fun with it as long as I can and just enjoy it, you
Yeah.
know.
Your
But
your community grows because this community is all about love and just respecting one another.
yeah, I think so. And everybody on this channel just seems like they're just loving and got a good heart and just awesome, right?
It's
Yeah.
because you've created a safe space.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. She looks like a model. Okay, I'll tell her. Yeah, she's. Yeah, Yeah, I love her though. That's our baby. She's the baby of the family. But I'm kind of hoping she don't take off too soon because my other two kids, my daughter and son, as soon as they got a chance, they left the nest. They're out. They want to go live their life, and that's good. But you want them to spend a little time.
Well, the baby birds have to leave the nest at some point.
Yeah, they do. I don't want them to be here forever, but it's nice to have them around sometime.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. So, um,
And I had a good time with you guys the other day.
oh
Um,
yeah, that was fun. A little more information got out than I wanted to, but that's life.
but but Brent, when you're having a good conversation,
Yeah,
some, sometimes that happens.
it does. No, I'm not upset about it. No, it's good. It shows. You know what it shows? It shows us as people, everyday people. We're human. I
Hmm.
did dumb stuff when I was young. I did. I ain't going to lie. And I almost lost my wife before she was my wife because of it. Yes. And and I was wrong. But
But the
she
thing about it is that Sandy is a woman of discernment, so she could see through the foolishness.
yeah, she could. And she knew
And
that I was just dumb and
I think most women know that men are not the brightest when it comes to certain things.
yeah.
So
Oh, Jay,
so we give y'all some leeway.
okay. I appreciate that. J10 says, how protective of you over towards the men oh gosh. I tell you, when it comes to my daughters, oh, it's tough. I'm not going to lie. I know they're growing up, and I know they become women, and they're going to get married one day, and it's tough because um, I don't want no harm coming to my daughters at all. I would destroy somebody that harmed my daughters. Well, my son too. But the thing of it is, with daughters, I'm very protective, and I know how men are, and I know how I was, and I was one of the good guys. So I'm just saying, but our oldest daughter's married. She married a good man, so thank God for that. So,
Mhm.
but our youngest daughter and our son's having fun, but he needs to make sure, yeah. He gives my hair gray too, uh, but my daughter, I mean, yeah, I mean, she's got a Marine fiance, and we know him and his family, and but yeah, I still, it's
You're gonna
tough.
always worry because that's your baby.
Yeah, and and you do because you raised her from a baby to a woman, and and you watched her grow. I mean, you've been with her when she was walking to preschool to the first day of school, and then graduating high school, and then on to bigger things. And then my oldest daughter, we went to two college graduations when she got her bachelor's, and then when she got her master's. um yeah, and our son, then when he graduated high school, went in the army. We actually went to his basic training graduation, so
Hmm.
that was kind of neat. And but it's, yeah, you're always be protective of your kids, because you want the best for them. You want them to be happy. You want them, and especially your daughters, you want them to be with the right guy that takes care of them.
Hmm.
You don't want her to get with no weirdo.
You would have shut that down immediately.
Well, I always have the talk, and if you don't know what the talk is, okay, this is how it goes. You know, I'm retired Army, and there's two
Mhm.
things the Army taught me how to do, and I'm very proficient at. It's digging a hole and shooting a weapon. So I know I shouldn't say that.
I mean, look, it's the equivalent of you inviting them over for a chat while you're cleaning your guns.
Right? Well, both the guys in my daughter's life, one's Air Force and one's a Marine, so they understand exactly what I'm saying. So they're
Yeah.
like, "Oh, yes, sir. No, I would." My wife's like, "Leave that boy alone. Leave him alone."
It's like it's your job to interrogate them. You're not leaving nobody alone.
And my daughters are like, "Dad, stop it! Don't tell him that." But I got to. He's got to know. you know. But yeah, it's. But you know what? I got a good family. I got a good life, and my wife is awesome. And,
Hmm.
and, and guys, I tell you, I chose my path. And black women, I'm telling you, the reason I'm with my wife is because of the amazing thing that black women do. You know, and you ladies, need to hear that. You need to know how wonderful and beautiful you are, because you're doing amazing things. It's not that we just praise you and give you credit for nothing. You're actually doing things. Most educated, most new businesses, most loyal woman on earth. I mean, come on. I mean, and I'm not just saying it. It's true. Stats are bearing it out. Stats are showing that's true. And us as white guys, when we marry you, we're more successful with you than any other woman on earth. Think about that. That shows how special you really are. And you take the most abuse and come out the best.
We know how to turn BS into flowers. That's just what that is.
Yeah. Know how to turn garbage into gold. I mean, I just Michael Ray says simply the best. Yeah, that's it in a nutshell. Just the
But
best.
so Brent, I have a follow-up
Yeah.
question for you.
Oh, okay.
Are you truly that bad at crafts?
What do you mean?
With the glue gun, gluing your fingers. That was
Oh
that was
no.
on purpose, won't it?
Oh, with crafts. I thought you meant graphs. I'm like, what did
No
I?
crap. Like you glued your fingers together on purpose, didn't you?
Oh yeah. Nah, she was just making fun of me because she's really into arts and crafts. She's got her projects she does, and I help her every now and then, but I'm just I'm
It's
not
not your thing.
into it. Yeah, and she knows it. I mean, she's just messing with me. But
I thought it was fun. It was hilarious though.
yeah, yeah. That was a good line. That was a good talk. I enjoyed that. That was kind of put me on the spot a few times, but hey, it is what it is,
But
right?
it was the most one of the most genuine to see you guys interact. That you just showed how much you guys loved each other and how well you know each other and how much you guys could finish each other's sentences. It's just you guys are what most people would love to have.
Yeah. You know what though? We pretty much can finish sentences. It's weird. Sometimes I think we share the same brain. Because we'll be thinking about the same thing a lot of times. And maybe it's just because we've been around each other. We know each other so well. And we're just on the same wavelength a lot of times, like, you know. Um, yeah. And her personality is awesome. Um,
Yes.
it's like, you know what? And anybody that's been around her, there ain't too many people that don't like Sandy. It's like she's got that people person, attitude about her. Like, you
If
know,
look, if you don't like Sandy, there's something wrong with you.
yeah. Well, here's the thing. My dad told me when he met my wife, he says, "You got my blessing, and don't mess it up, or I will choke slam you." That's what he said to me. Um,
Wow.
and I mean, my dad wouldn't do violence on me, but the thing of it was, is he wouldn't be happy. The thing of it was is he's seen I have I got a good thing. Sees the good in Santa, and it's like it's funny because my parents accepted her like they were thanking God. I'm serious, and I mean they actually went in prayer and thanked God that she married me. They did, um, and and I think they were just worried about me because I did stupid stuff when I was young, and I didn't have the best girlfriends at times. So I think
Mhm.
my parents were just thanking God that I got with a good woman that would be a good wife, and you
You know
know,
what? You got your head out of your butt, and so God rewarded you.
right? Okay, yeah,
I'm, I'm
that's
sorry.
that's
It's
one
the
way to
best.
put it.
It's the best way I can think of to put it because she and the thing about it is that she wasn't in a good space, so you came right, right. You guys, things were falling into place in God's timing, and so that's why it worked.
It was, and you know what? It was like the timing was perfect. It was like we came together, got married, and it just fell in place. And people think that a marriage is such a hard thing, that it's such a struggle, and it's really not. It's actually a beautiful thing. It's
It,
marriage is awesome. I mean, when I got married, it was like the greatest day of my life.
you know
And
what? If you're friends, it should be easy, right?
yeah, and that's how it was when I first met my wife. We could talk for hours, and and me and Sandy have talked about that. Yeah, when we met each other, we'd sit up and talk all night. We would, and it wasn't that we just felt we had to talk. It was
Mhm.
just that we couldn't stop. It was just it flowed.
Yeah,
It was nice. It was
yes, I know what you
it,
mean. It's like everything flows, and even if the subject changed, you kept on talking just because, and it's just like I don't want to get off this phone.
yeah. I
And
mean, I could talk to my wife about picking up trash, and it would be fun. I mean, how, I
because the
mean,
smallest thing.
yeah. And I think that's ways that people find out they're compatible because they love being around each other. It's not
Hmm.
hard. You've been on dates where it's like, okay, you're attracted to the person, but it just don't seem, it feels awkward, or it's just,
Something is just not quite right.
yeah, it's just not,
And
you've been,
I think the biggest thing is that while you can do all that talking, is that if you can be in each other's presence and not speak and still feel comfortable,
yeah.
that's also a good indication because you can not only do the talking but also be silent and
Mhm.
still enjoy each other's company.
Yeah. You know what? Sometimes we talk a lot, but sometimes we don't say much. We'll lay down on the couch, we'll grab a blanket and watch TV or watch a movie,
Yeah.
and it's just nice.
Just being in each other's presence.
Yeah,
It's yeah.
it's it's yeah, and that's your best friend there. Um that's what makes a marriage great. You
Yeah.
know, it's
That's what I want in my marriage.
yeah. And that's what you should have, because that's what makes marriages last. You know, people that have been married for several years, they're
Mhm.
like best friends. They're like they got to be around each other. It's like of
And
course you're going to want your alone time at times, but they just love being with each other. They love doing
mhm.
stuff together. They love, even if it's just taking a walk, it's like a awesome thing.
And small little touches
Yeah.
like holding hands or just being around, like if you see two people that love each other around each other, you can you can tell whether or not they have a good relationship because some of them don't even, there's always a nice little buffer of space, and then there's others that are close together and always touching each other in some kind of way.
Yeah. Yeah, and there's an elderly couple in our neighborhood, and I don't know if they're in their 70s or 80s, but they're up there in age, and they've been married forever, right? And they walk around the block, slow, and they just seem happy. And he holds her hand, and they're old. They walk slow. They're both gray headed, and they're just, you could just feel the love. It's like, that is true love.
Hmm.
They've grown old together, and it's neat to see that when two young people get together, get married, and then they stay married till they don't walk the earth no more. That's how marriage is supposed to be. Um,
Hmm.
Unfortunately, with today's world and sin and corruption, we don't get that. Um, but you can have that. I mean, God can give that to you. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just,
It's nice when you have a relationship and you can talk about anything, and even the hard conversations are not really hard conversations because you trust one another not to go off the deep end.
yeah. Well, you got to have trust. I mean, marriage is about trust.
Mhm.
If you don't have trust, then you're going to be a wreck. Um,
Yeah.
I've seen people like that. I mean, especially in the army when we deploy for long periods of time, year and a half, you got to have trust. You know,
Hmm.
and but you know, and that's part of the marriage. I know some people that see each other every day. There's people that don't have trust, and why wouldn't you? Um,
It's, if you don't have trust, what's the point?
yeah, why would you be with that person? Because you're going to be a you're going to be a wreck all the
Yeah.
time.
Be like, what you doing? Where you at? Where you been? Who you with? um,
Yeah.
yeah, that's too much.
Oh man. Yeah. But the thing of it is what? I wanted to talk about this because I see people getting caught up in stereotypes and stuff.
Hmm.
Search. search for yourself. The truth is out there. There are stats, there are studies that have been done. Look around you. Look at the successful marriages. You
The,
know, I
the thing is that a lot of people um let habit control what they do,
yeah.
and
Well,
you have to break. Sometimes you got to break a bad habit, and and black men are a bad habit, so we need to break them, break out of that situation, and be open to new people.
yeah. What you got to go where you're going to get love and protection and being provided for.
And a
Y-
lot of black women don't know what it is to have somebody offer protection.
Yeah.
Um, I hit with we hit on that. That's one of the main reasons why Sandy fell in love with you. So, you know, protection is a lot because you know, we're not offered protection a lot of times.
Yeah. Well, and the security.
Mhm.
What she told me is like she liked when I would come around that she knew that I was spending every minute I had with her, and that
Mhm.
made her feel good. And then she talked about that day we had our issues in Christmas. I was right at the door, and
You shocked her when you showed up at the time.
yeah, I mean I was serious. I'm like, no, I'm not letting her go. I mean,
No, because I can tell you from experience, if you have a bad fight, they usually stay away until they
mhm,
think you've cooled down. But you were right front and center. It's like, no, this is not gonna happen. We're gonna discuss this and chop this out right now.
yeah, yeah, and she clinged to that. She said, "You really showed me love when you did that because that's what most people do. Okay, they're mad. I'll wait till they cool down." Um,
Hmm.
and sometimes that's not the best best
That's not the
idea.
best. No, it's not, because it may make someone think that you're apathetic instead of knowing that you want to fight to make make it right.
Hmm. It's 90 degrees tonight, Corey says. Hey,
Yeah,
almond butter.
he would hop on, but it's too loud. Okay.
Who said that?
That's what Corey said. Excuses, excuses.
But it's too loud.
His fan is too loud for if he was
Oh,
on
turn the
piano.
fan off. Sweat it out. 90 degrees is hot this hour, right? I know it's what,
Well,
9 o'clock
you have to remember it's still fairly early in the West Coast, according to it's like 9 o'clock.
Yeah, it's 9
Yeah.
12 because it's 10 where I'm at. I'm a time zone. Uh, I'm one time zone apart from Corey. He's
Mhm.
Pacific. I'm Mountain time, so
Yeah,
it's not
so
too bad where I'm at.
it's not too bad where I'm at either. But it it is that time of year where the sun doesn't go down to like 8, 9 o'clock.
Yeah, which is nice when you work outside, but I mean, wintertime is
But it's 90 degrees. So
yeah, still that's pretty hot.
yeah, at night, still at that time of day, that's still kind of hot.
Yeah.
Well, just be
Well,
somewhere dark. It'll be fine.
hey guys, Friday.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I Friday. I'm going to try at 5 or let's see. What do you guys think about 7 p.m. Eastern time? Trying to do the dating show. Now I'm going to do this on the fly. I'll have some backup topic in case people don't show up for the dating show. But would you guys like to try it Friday?
This it'll be good.
Yeah, I got the emails. I need the guys to step up because um so we can do this. It's going to be Avatar. Don't cam up for this. It's going to be Avatar. It's going to be like a test run, and we'll see how it goes. And then we can move forward. And if more people get involved in it, we can have fun. And but we need guys to step up because the men
Yes,
is like 10% of the channel. That's still like
that's still enough
100
for
people.
a fairly decent show if people would just
Yeah,
show up.
yeah. But that's what I had it got to have. But I'm going to try it. If like I said, if people don't jump on the panel and do it, then we'll do something else. Um,
So that means that Michael is gonna have to pop on so that
Michael, yeah, or Corey, and here's the deal. I only need one guy for this show because it's going to be the dating game. One one man, three ladies.
because
Huh?
Michael wants to know. Oh, he said 7 p.m. Eastern. Right.
Yeah, 7 p.m. Eastern. Yeah, that will be 5 p.m. my time, 4 Corey's time. Yeah, seven. We'll say 7 p.m. Eastern. That way, to check Eastern time. Um, I'll put it. Ooh, tomorrow's Thursday, right? So that's
Mm-hmm.
short notice. Yeah, Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern time, 6 p.m. Central. That's right, Michael Ray. Yep. After the show, I'll put it in the community box.
Okay.
What? So everybody, and this is just going to be a jump on panel. So
You need help with hosting?
yeah, if you sure, I know Indiana Mom wants to do it, but we'll have more shows. Um,
You know what? If I'll be your backup if she doesn't show up,
okay, that'll work.
because
But yeah,
I'm quick to jump on, and you see that.
yeah, I appreciate that. I like when people jump on because I think when it comes to YouTube, that's the part I enjoy the most is the panels when people come on and talk. That could be the
Mhm.
most dangerous time too, because sometimes people get triggered. It could be you know what I'm talking about. But
I know exactly what you're talking about.
but actually,
But
it,
we wind up having good conversations and learning new things
yeah.
because we get a lot of different perspectives when people hop on up on the panel. Which I'm sure that there are some people that are in the chat that can hop up on the. You don't have to do it live. You can always do your avatar if you hop up on the panel.
Oh yeah. But I'm going to do the dating show is going to be all Avatar.
Okay.
Um, if you guys ever want to do a private show and do cam up, if you want, we can do that. There's a way I could do. I could do it on YouTube or on StreamYards. There's a private setting where only the
Mhm.
people with the link can watch it or be a part of it.
Okay.
We have talked on private streams before, so um, that's an idea too. If it gets going and we're having fun at it, and some people want to actually see who they're talking to, we can do that too. But I'd
Okay.
recommend that being private because the avatar dating show. What are the trolls going to say? Talk about your picture or whatever. Um, you know, but yeah, it's hot tonight, isn't it? I don't even know what the temperature is. It's probably 90 outside where I'm at. It's been crazy hot.
I do not know because me and AC, we love each other and we shall not part.
Yeah, me and AC do too, but a lot of my job is outside, and I'm outside anyway, even when I'm not working. So
Mm.
I mean, it's been so hot. My grass is drying up. I had to go out and water it. I have to water it almost every day now. It's crazy. It just evaporating away.
Are you
Actually,
living?
you guys are watering every day.
Are you living in a part of New Mexico that's in the desert or that has like some
I'm in
actual greenery?
No, I'm in the desert. I'm in the high desert. I'm in central New Mexico in the high desert area overlooking the Rio Grande Valley. So
Mm.
I'm in a yeah, it's hot. And
It sounds beautiful though.
it is beautiful. Yeah. I mean, it's actually neat where I live. I mean the desert can be beautiful. Uh I mean actually it's not bad because even when it's hot, if you're in the shade, it's just fine. I mean the climate's so dry that it could be 100 degrees and you can sit out in the porch and be just fine.
Yes, and sweat will just evaporate off your forehead.
Yeah, and yeah, I remember. Well, when we were living in Missouri, oh my goodness, when it was hot, you couldn't stand to be outside, and then bugs, and you'd sweat, and it'd just sit there. It'd be like, and then the winters were colder because it's a wet climate. It's like, I don't know. Dry climate's really nice because even when it's cold, you can tolerate it. When it's hot, you can too, as long as you got plenty of water. Um,
Yeah, you would have to become a water drinking somebody.
oh yeah. Well, when I'm at work and I work outside out in the elements, I summertime I'll go through a gallon of water easy, and just well 8 hours. That seems like a gallon seems like a lot, right? But
It
I'll go.
is, but it's not when you're losing a lot of sweat.
It's not, and because you're losing that, you're sweating it out, and
Especially if you're supposed to be drinking half your body weight in water.
yeah, and then not only that, you got to eat good too because you don't want to lose your electrolytes too.
Hmm.
You just flush yourself with so much water, you start losing it. Um, but yeah, in the wintertime, I I drink maybe a fourth of that, really, if you think about it. A half a gallon during a work day in the wintertime would be like a lot. But in the summertime, it just goes through. Yeah, Gatorade's good to drink. Yeah, Gatorade or Powerades, that type of stuff. Or just eat a well balanced meal. You you just don't want to go out there not eating and just drinking water. you know. Uh yeah. But anyway, I'm gonna close this pretty soon. Sandy said I got 2 hours.
And so you're on a strict schedule.
You know what? It was funny. I says, I thought you just want to do it now. Oh, she said, shut up. It was too fun. Like, I said,
Look,
see, I told you.
I take the blame for that because I have a tendency to talk too much.
You know what, Afro Angelique? That was awesome though, how that ended up because you you ran that show. You really did. You came in there and you interviewed us. Um,
And I had no intention of doing that. I was just like, I'm gonna ask y'all two questions and be out. And
well,
I just,
two questions. You got our life story,
pretty much.
but I mean, it went great. I couldn't have planned it better myself. I was just like, wow. And I talked, and me and my wife talked afterwards. I said, "Wasn't that amazing how that went?" My wife's like, "Yeah." It was like it was planned that she was going to do it, which it wasn't planned that way. It
It
just
just happened.
and it
It was
flowed, and
it was organic.
yeah, I would say that it was organic, and yeah, that was awesome. We had a good time, and you did an awesome job. Dang, I should pay you for that. You did.
I had such a great time. It was it was so interesting getting to know you guys because you guys are interesting people.
Yeah, we're two of a kind, aren't we? we
Yes.
yeah, I don't know. Me and my wife just have fun together. Um, like we did that video when we went on the tram. That we just had a good time. That was so awesome. Um, and up on the mountain, I don't know if you've seen like the backside, how we were so high up and it went into a valley. At the bottom, there's like a lake, and it's a ski resort there. You could see because the chairlifts and stuff,
Hmm.
and they have so many trails there. I mean, I've walked all across that mountain. My dad had me out there you know, when I was like a teenager. We walked all across there. There's so many trails and stuff you can walk, and I mean, it's really neat. It's fun to get out and go. And I wanted to walk around, but I had that stupid boot on, and it was killing me. The what little part I walked, I was just like, I mean, yeah.
Are
I,
you
I
elevating your foot like you're supposed to?
Yeah, I am. Yes, mom.
I'm just saying, it feels better when you elevate. So,
It does. It really does. No, you're right. Yeah. Hey, I went to the doctor today, and
hmm,
I got some good news.
okay.
It looks like I'm not going to have surgery because the break,
Hmm.
it didn't. I mean, it fractured, but it's in place. So the doctor
That's
says, well, it looks good. It looks like it's healing. So I don't think we're going to have to go in and do any surgery or nothing. Uh,
that's good because
so I,
I can show you an X-ray of my surgery. It was not. It looks crazy.
oh gosh, you got to see. You should see the surgery I did when I had my brain tumor removed. That was crazy
Hmm.
because I had a tumor inside my head, and you know how
Wow.
they got to it? They
How
went
does
through
it?
the nose.
Oh, I've heard about surgeries where they do that, so you don't have. So it doesn't even look like you've had brain surgery because they just
No,
went up your nose and did everything.
they go up your nose, and they cut an opening in your nose to get up in there, and
Hmm.
they have this machine that the doctor works. It's by remote control, and it's got an HD camera. And what it does is it cuts around the tumor and it just pulls it out.
Wow.
And then they close it up and you're done.
No
And
shaved head
there's
or
no
nothing.
sore, there's no scars, they don't have to go and drill in your head or nothing. Uh,
Hmm.
they used to. I'm glad technology caught up with my surgery because
I'm glad too because otherwise they would have had to shave your head, that part of your head, and pop off
oh,
and drill your head. So yeah,
yeah, and then back then they had to move the brain around, and that's risky. You
yeah,
touch
it is.
someone's brain, you can cause damage. Like, yeah, but the way they did it, it was like a few hours of surgery and it's done. Um,
Did were you awake?
no, no, heck, no, no, no. They
I
put
mean,
me out.
some like brain surgeries, they have you awake to make sure they're not cutting anything that's wrong.
No, they put me under. I just I went in and I remember seeing the doctor and I said, I'm going to apologize to you now. I'm real gassy and I'm sorry. And he just looked at me and laughed. He says, I smell a lot worse than that. Don't worry about it. You're good. And then that's all I remember. And they just, it was weird. It was like when I went in the hospital, I was angry. I was just I was on the edge. I was out of character. Um, and Sandy was trying to keep me in under control. I almost got in a fight, and I
Yes,
didn't care, and I
that
was,
tumor pressing in your brain.
yeah, and I was just like, it was like I was somebody else.
No,
And
you're right. My,
after I had the surgery,
hmm
it changed. It was like I was happy. I could see again because I was losing my vision. I could
Wow.
see. I I just felt better. My body got back into alignment. It was just like I felt like a new person. I felt like I
Yeah.
felt like a new man. Like, wow, I feel good, and it's great. And I was happy, and it was weird because the nurses that were there, they're like, wow, we can tell it's a success because you went from angry to happy. And
Yeah.
I was
People
just I was telling my whole story to the nurse that was when I came out of the ICU. The nurse that was there, I was talking about my wife, my daughter, my my kids, my granddaughter, and I was just, and she was like, and she had to be in there with me, watch me. And she says, I go on shift tomorrow. Hopefully you're here because I want to hear more. Like,
look, God was adding more pages to your testimony book.
oh yeah, and yeah, it was like, but it was funny because when I first came out, I was still high off the anesthetic, right? And I
Hmm
come out, and it was weird. It looked like I thought I was in a movie theater. It didn't make any sense. And everything was weird. And I saw my family there, and my wife was there, and I had to go to the bathroom, and they have you in the gown where you don't have no underwear on nothing. And then I look down,
Everything is easy and breezy in the back.
yeah, and then and get this, my family's around, and I'm naked there, and I'm holding this catheter, and I looked at my wife. Can you get this out? I was like freaked out because I had a catheter in me, and the nurses were no, don't touch that, no. And I was and I said, please take it out. And my wife's like, no, it's okay, it'll be okay. And I was just but then I came to, and it was like, yeah, I don't know, that was the weirdest thing. That
It's
was
the
the worst
weirdest
part
thing.
of it, was the catheter. And I never had one of those, but I did that day, and I didn't like that at all.
That's like that is not an experience you want to repeat.
No. And then, the nurse was nice. She said, look, I'll talk to the doctor. Maybe we can get it. I said, please.
We need to
And
make a deal.
yeah, she says, okay. Well, then she got permission. Doctor says, okay. But the doctor came in and says, look, we'll take this out, but you got to fill up this jug thing because we got to measure your urine. I said, no problem. Okay, you're okay with doing that? I said, I'm okay with doing it in front of a live audience. If you take it out, I don't care. I just want it out. And then the nurse was like, okay, it's going to sting a little bit. And then they, uh, turn the knob, I guess, where the bubble goes down. And then she pulled it out. And I remember it stung. And I was like, ah. And I said, you said it's going to only sting a little bit. That thing, I was sore for like 3 days. That was
Ooh,
horrible. I was like
that
I was like, "You
I'm
lied."
glad I'm glad I didn't have to have one of those.
Oh gosh, I think it's worse for men than women because I heard that women get it and it's like, "No, no big deal."
Well,
You know?
our threshold for pain is a lot higher than you guys. So
Yeah,
you have
probably.
to also keep that,
Yeah, but that was the worst part of the experience. And but yeah, I tell you. And then my poor daughter, and guys, pray for my daughter because I talked about her having that tumor too. And
mhm.
she just gave birth, so here I think they want to wait a couple months. It's not getting bigger, but they want her body to go back to normal because she just gave birth
Yeah,
before they, mess with that. So
understandable. They want her
they,
hormones under control.
yeah, because but it's they don't think it's. They say it's not a tumor; it's a cyst, and
Mm,
it's kind of unusual. It's in the same place because they told me that tumor is not. You can't.
hereditary.
You it's not genetic. I mean,
Yeah,
anybody can get it, but you don't. Because I was worried. I don't want my kids to go through this, right?
understandable. And what people don't realize is that if you have brain anything putting pressure on your brain, it really can change your whole personality.
Oh, and it did. I was a crazy lunatic, and I was angry.
Like my cousin, when she developed a brain tumor when the cancer spread throughout her body, and she became a
Ooh.
whole other person.
Oh wow. So it was cancerous.
Well, she had breast cancer,
Oh
and
okay.
and it really pissed me off, really, just because her doctor said that she was free and clear, and when she went back, he was like, "Oh,
Oh,
it's metastasized throughout your entire body," and it's just like, you just gave her a clean bill of health, and now you're saying it's metastasized throughout the entire body? What
oh
kind of
wow.
doctor are you?
Well, they say breast cancer spreads fast, don't it?
Yeah, but it's like she had a clean bill of health for like a year.
Yeah.
And then when she started getting symptoms again, he still said there was nothing wrong.
Mm, wow.
So you
I'm
have to
sorry to hear that.
she didn't advocate for herself. We wanted her to get a second opinion, but she wouldn't.
Oh man. Hey there, Corey.
Hey,
H-
Corey.
How you guys doing?
Good. How
Pretty
you doing?
good.
How's that 90-degree weather?
Well,
Glad
I
you
got
came
away
on,
from
Corey.
I got away from the fan.
Oh,
We appreciate it.
yeah. We don't want you to burn up though.
Oh no.
I tell you, it's
You
been
know,
hot.
Brett, I got a story about pulling tubes out. I was 4 years old, had my appendix taken out, and they put one of them drain tubes in my belly.
Uh huh.
Actually, there was two of them. They had them safety pinned together. That thing was itching and would not stop itching. Woke me up, and I'm 4. I didn't give
Yeah.
a damn. I started peeling things off of my belly and everything was laying on the floor. I thought that nurse was going to press me in half. She was pushing on me so hard when she see that.
Oh wow. Oh
Yeah,
man.
it was pretty intense.
Oh, that's crazy. Wow.
What I didn't like is the fact that they gave me an injection in each leg every day for 2 weeks.
Mm.
Wow.
Yeah. Now I hate needles.
Oh, I hate needles. When I did that surgery, they were taking blood every day. I was like, oh,
Mm.
yeah. I mean, they're coming around like twice a day. I'm just like, I know they have to do it, but I hated it. And they have these machines now where uh, when they look for a vein, they just, I
The
guess they,
vein finder.
that's pretty cool how they can do that. Oh, there's one. I thought that was pretty neat.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they really don't work.
they
They
really
don't
don't.
work?
Well, they do, but it depends on what how your veins are. Cause like my mom's veins are small and they like to roll.
Oh, I see.
Mm.
And so when they brought out the vein finder and they still couldn't hit a vein.
Oh,
Oh,
wow.
wow.
I
So
I was I'm pretty lucky in that area. I got good veins. They can go in and it usually don't take much. But I still don't like it. I don't like needles. They're just oh
mm-mm. Like
yeah.
she always has to get a butterfly because when they try to put a catheter in, it's hit or miss.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I mean, when I was in the army, they had us do IVs. I could do it to anybody. That's no problem. I just don't like it done to me.
That's generally that's
I could stick
generally
anybody.
how it works. Look,
Yeah.
you can stick people all day. You just don't like getting stuck.
Yeah, that's it. I don't. We were going through training, and I was like, "Oh yeah, this is all right." I was just like, "Okay, your turn." I didn't like it too well.
No, no.
Yeah,
Now
No,
they can find my veins real easy, but they
yeah,
they can just stay away.
right.
yeah, I have my veins are pretty easy to find. They're like, oh, you got nice juicy veins.
Yeah,
Okay.
I go to the dentist office, and these people are prodding around in my mouth, and here they come with that stupid needle. I scared that one lady. I passed out right in the chair. I don't like needles. It just nope.
Oh, when you're doing
Well,
dental
at least
work,
if
when
you
you
pass
do,
out, you can't feel the needle going in.
oh, when
Well,
they,
they weren't ready for it. I can tell you that much. You know what's crazy? I can go hunt. I can kill animals. I can cut them apart, butcher them. It doesn't bother me a bit. Somebody gets near me with a needle, and I have to let them. You know, it's a little bit of anxiety.
yeah,
Hmm.
the needle when you're doing dental work ain't too fun because they got to give you a shot in the mouth and the roof of your mouth and stuff.
Yeah. And they
I,
like, well, we're gonna numb it first. Even if they numb it, you still feel it.
yeah, it's like, oh man, because I I went and did a deep cleaning where they just went and
They just
they
did it.
go under the root and clean all the
Whew.
plaque and stuff.
Hmm.
Um, I felt great afterwards. My gums look good. They were nice and a light pink, and my teeth look good. And but I mean, before when they go through, I mean, your gums are bleeding. They're all swollen, look nasty. But in a couple days, it's like healed. Like it looks perfect. I
Yeah, your
mean,
mouth heals up quick.
oh, it does. Oh, the mouth does. Um,
Well, all right. It
what's that?
depends on what it is. Now,
Yeah. Okay.
I
So
thought we were let's
What happened?
what's that? What happened, Afro Angelique? Okay.
I think she just froze.
Yeah. Okay. Well, the topic tonight was dental hygiene. And no,
Dental hygiene.
yeah. You know what though? No, I was just like talking about the power couple, and that's I get passionate about this because you know what? When it comes to interracial dating, black women, white men are winning the day. They really are. They're making things happen, and I like seeing it. Um, but like I was telling Afro Angelique and the panel and stuff. Oh, she jumped off or fell off. Let me put the link back up there. Happy birthday, Corey,
No,
again.
that was last week.
Well, still, happy birthday from last week.
Okay.
Okay.
Hmm.
Yeah, she must have froze because she was talking and it went blank.
Yeah, it kind of sounded like a waterfall and then went out.
Hey, Corey, I've been getting some strange trolls. I had one, well,
Really?
appeared to be a woman saying that, oh, just because you went against society and just because you've been married that many years, that still don't mean you're not a fetishizer. And I'm like, wow.
What
I,
kind of lunatic?
I don't know if it could have been a guy posing as a woman. I don't know. She claimed to be a black woman married to a white guy, and she
Well,
don't
that's
like,
regardless. It's just a lunatic.
yeah, and she don't like men that invest in only one group of women. Like what?
What?
I'm just like, and she says, yeah, me and my husband, we dated within our races, and we had love within our race. I'm like, what are you? I just like, wow. I was just like,
Oh,
I mean, if you got a white husband, you should want him to, lift you up and show you love and give you a little praise or something. I mean,
I think there's so many people that need therapy today. It's not even.
yeah, it's
Oh,
not it's not even funny. Hey, Afro Angelique, you could come back up. Maybe your phone died.
I don't even see her in the chat, Brent.
Yeah, I don't. That's why I said maybe your phone died.
I bet you ran out of battery.
Yeah. But yeah, that lady told me that, and I'm like, what? That didn't make sense. And here's the thing: I don't hate people in my community. I just because I have a love for black women don't mean I hate myself or the group of people in my community. That to me is dumb.
Well,
I
you know,
just
by her statement, you're not supposed to support your wife, but you're supposed to support some stranger that's white.
I don't know.
If I followed that statement right,
That's what you know
I don't
what?
know
That's
that I can understand it.
right. Like
Oh,
I'm supposed to have love for who looks like me. Not for who loves me, but who looks like me. That's it.
I
Um,
think I read this in a Dr. Zeus book where the one had the star and the other one didn't on their belly.
you're right. That I felt like I was talking to a Dr. Seuss character, and
Oh, yes.
and then I got this one guy said, "Okay, so you say you love black women, you love black people, but what are you doing for reparations?" I'm like, shouldn't you talk to your congressman about that? Like, what?
What?
What? And I'm like, and that's when I was talking about that, and my reply is to people like that: why don't you marry the women in your community? If you say you love them so much, marry them instead of worrying about what I'm doing. I just don't get it. Um,
That's so crazy. I mean,
it's
Sandy lived in your community.
but well, no, she lived in a really good a better community, but
Well, it's in
her,
the same town, though.
oh yeah, it's in the same town. Um, yeah, I mean we like I said, we kind of grew up with the same culture, really. Um, we went to the same places, ate the same food, did a lot of the same things. You know,
Hmm,
um,
that's just,
yeah. Oh, somebody's got reparations with question mark. Yeah, the guy felt I should be fighting for it for black people if I say I love black women. Um,
hmm. I live in Oregon. We got career politicians here. They just want my money. They don't like
yeah,
sharing. If they can't buy a vote, they're not interested.
right.
Well, because they want to stay there. That's just the way they are.
Oh, that you know what, KP, that's a good thing. Yeah, what that guy was asking me to do, he should be doing. He feels he that black people deserve it. He should be fighting for it. Now, and by telling me I need to do it, or is he saying he wants me white men to do it for him? Or I don't know. It
Well,
just
Brett, it sounded like he wanted you to adopt him.
yeah, he wanted to be my child. That's what it is.
Yeah, hey, take care of me,
Yeah,
and yeah,
yeah. He wanted the adoption. Yeah.
yeah. Hmm. You
It
know,
was I
rarely
guess
did I ever get anybody to give me a handout. Even then, it's like, okay, you owe me. It's, I don't know what about this people thinking just because your skin's white, you have. I don't know. I've been working since I out of that, at a job since I was 15.
yeah.
I
I
mean,
I I
hmm,
was too. I remember my first job was working at a pizza place, and I was 15 and soon turned 16.
mm-hmm.
But it's been work ever since.
Oh yeah.
It was heck. I don't think I'll ever stop because once I retire, I'll be outside doing something. I can't stay in the house, and
Hmm.
it's crazy. I see people that are retired and they'll be at home in pajamas and stuff all day. Like what? You're wasting your life away. I mean, I understand sleeping in. You can stay up late, sleep in, but then you got to go do something.
But my birthday's in the middle of the summer, and so when I turned the summer of my 14, 15 year, as soon
Uh,
as I turned 15, I went to work in a restaurant washing dishes in the back room. Well, the next summer came around, and I immediately, because I was already 15, got me a job working 12-hour days at the canneries up there in Alaska. So,
Oh,
you're doing
wow.
12
See
hours a
that?
day, 7 days a week. Did that all summer long. You don't get days off. You just keep working.
Wow. Sounds like the Army.
I came close, but I never made it there. I, I would have been a desert storm rat, I guess you could have called it.
Yeah, I was one of those. I was in Desert Storm and then Iraqi Freedom 3 times.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I got to see the world. People say join the military, see the world. Yeah, it's I got to see parts of the world you don't really want to see. I'm just saying
Yeah,
they weren't resort places.
I got a lot of friends that say the same thing.
Yeah, especially the Army. Maybe
Hmm.
if you're like in the Air Force and Navy, you might see some good places, but
Hmm.
the Army, yeah, it's
Yeah, I remember when that first took off, I had a choice well, I was either going to go take classes to do underwater welding in Texas, or I was going to join the Marine Corps.
oh okay.
And I came real close, but it's crazy because I never did either one of them. Ended up moving to Washington.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Michelle B says her first job was KB Toys. You know what? I remember memories at KB Toys. Um, had fun times at KB Toy. You know what place I had fun was Toys R Us. Remember when they
Hmm.
had my kids they speak about that like their fond childhood memories at Toys R Us. I remember when my daughter was like 2 years old, right? And that was our first child, and it was around Christmas time, and my wife was at work, and I took my daughter, and I said, "Where?" I told my wife, I said, "Yeah, I'm going to take our daughter to do some Christmas shopping." That probably wasn't the smartest idea. I think she was either 2 or 3, but taking a toddler child to Toys R Us and buying toys for Christmas, she wanted when we got home, she wanted to play with all those toys. And I had extra money, so I let her pick out her presents. she so I had to give her a couple toys to play with just to keep her occupied so I could put the presents up. But I mean, she remembers that to this day. It was like you know, I mean, I
Hmm.
don't know, they don't have stores like that no more, do they? I
No, they did away with them.
The
It's all
toy store,
Amazon now.
yeah. But that was the fun in it when you're kids. I mean, hey, Afro Angelique, how's it
Hey,
going?
can you hear me?
Yeah, you
Uh-oh.
you sound kind of yeah, you kind of
Sounds
muffled
like
a
a
little.
sounds like a Star Wars character.
Yeah, right. Like at that bar.
Yeah. I need a translator.
You're still muffled, Afro Angelique.
I can hear her giggle just fine, but I can't make out the
Yeah,
words.
that comes out clear, but when she talks, it goes sounds like those droids.
Yep. Oh yeah.
I always thought, when Star Wars come out, I was just like, when I was like, how do they understand what these droids are saying? Because they're just making noise. Oh,
Hmm. It's just in the script.
yeah. Uh,
Hmm.
Afro Angelique, is your audio on?
Ooh.
Oh,
Sounds like she
okay.
came down a slide.
Yeah. I don't know. I think her audio is doing something.
I think it's her
Um,
connection. It's not bringing her. clear,
Oh, maybe
bringing
the
it through
internet
properly.
connection. That could be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the best option for a power couple or Toys R Us. What do you want to talk about?
The power couple and Toys R Us. Where power couples meet at Toys R Us.
There you go.
Yeah.
I've always been a last minute shopper around the holidays. And one year I took my daughter with me. And, I'd already put in 10 hours and I
Uh-huh.
kind of needed a little kickstart. Well, I grabbed an energy drink and, my kid's with me. And so I got her one too. I shouldn't have. And she had such a hard time going to sleep that night. I went home, went right to sleep.
Oh, yeah. You don't want
Oh,
to give
poor
that to a
kiddo.
little kid. They'll stay up all night.
Oh, she was like 16. She wasn't like little.
Yeah.
But
I,
yeah.
you know what? I could take an energy drink and go straight to bed. I remember when those came out, I remember taking one. I drank a couple of them and I was up all night. I could not sleep.
Mm,
I guess the caffeine just had me uh, hyped up where I just couldn't go to sleep.
hmm
But now I could drink one and go to sleep. I guess 'cause I'm old. My body says, okay, go to bed.
Yeah, you just trained your brain to shut off.
Yeah. I can, when you get older, you can turn it on and off like a switch.
Wow. Depends on what you're facing, though.
Yeah. You
Yeah.
know what though? I never really had much trouble sleeping. Corey, I slept through a mortar attack twice in Iraq. It was funny because the first time it happened, it was like,
Man.
and it was loud and stuff. So they said, and they thought, they thought I got killed. They're like, we couldn't find you, and that I was in my bunk sleep. They said you were just snoring away.
Did did they tease you about sleeping through your
Oh
own
God,
funeral?
yeah. They'd be like, well, we should be getting a mortar attack so you could get some rest.
Got a call on the trucks driving by, and you're over there sawing logs.
Yeah, I was just, but but in all fairness, though, I was tired. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
you're going, several hours in a day, limited sleep. You got to do operations and
Mm-hmm.
you got things going on, and it's like, I just think when you get sleep, you
You
just
get
your
sleep.
body shuts down,
Yeah.
and that's what happened. But yeah, they tease me about it. I mean, I still, the soldiers I'm in contact with from back then still tease me about it.
Well, they probably didn't know anybody like you.
Well, yeah, I'm kind of weird that way. I think I take comfort in noise and chaos. I don't know. I
lots,
mean,
lots of training.
yeah. You know what? I don't know. I sleep good with noise. Actually, I'll have the TV on when I'm sleeping. I just sleep better. I don't know. I don't like it quiet.
Mm.
Maybe I'm weird that way. I I don't know if that's healthy or not. It's just, I mean, if me and my wife are in bed and she wants to watch TV, in fact, I sleep better when she does. So that's never an issue. Just, I don't know.
Hmm.
But yeah, that's just me. Hey, Afro Angelique. Okay, Afro Angelique.
She's doing it again.
Hey, I made a cartoon picture for you, Afro Angelique.
Uh, hmm?
Huh? I can hear you. Hey, Afro Angelique, check out this picture. I got an app that does cartoon pictures, right? And I made one of you, but it kind of lightened your skin tone. I think it's the program. Looks like you were using some bleaching or something, but check this out. You know how I do the cartoon pictures on my on my thing. This is one I made a view, and I did it from your avatar. Check it out. Does that
Well,
look
it
like
turned out good.
it did, didn't it?
Yeah, it did.
Yeah, I put palm trees behind there. I can email you that if you want. Oh, she jumped
Oh,
off.
she jumped off again.
Oh man, I bet she's got a bad connection. It's probably an internet thing.
Yeah, we've been having crazy weather over here on the West Coast.
Yeah,
We
Michelle
got
B says she falls asleep with the TV on every night. I do too. I always have it on. I always fall asleep with it on. I'll set my alarm when I got to go to work, but I'll always have it on.
I got a retro uh, air fan, them desktop type.
Uh-huh.
I usually go to sleep with that for white noise. This puts me right out.
Yeah. Uh J10 says, Afro Angelique, can you talk in the chat?
Oh, she's got to do the router.
Oh, okay. All right. Oh yeah. I I had to do that before. There's been times where I think I was on a live. You remember this was a while back. I got kicked off my own live. It was weird and I couldn't. This was way back though. I was doing a live show, right, Corey? And I got kicked off StreamYard and I couldn't get back on. And the ladies in the chat were still talking and stuff. And the
Oh
show
yeah,
went on without me. And I couldn't get on my own live show. It was funny.
I've been on a couple of shows like that where the host has dropped off and they can't come back, and everybody's like, "Where'd they go?"
Yeah, sometimes it happens. That's weird when that happens.
And then you
It's
can show up in the
frustrating.
chat, but you can't get back on screen.
Yeah. And it's frustrating because it's your show, but you can't get back to it.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
But talking about the power couple though, I've been looking at stats, Corey. It's amazing. I'm just like, what society tells you, and the perception is totally the opposite.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? It's like, and those stats didn't really surprise me because Asian Americans says was the had the highest success rate when it comes to marriage, and that kind of makes sense because they're real traditional people. And but at the top was black women, white men, and that
Yeah.
don't surprise me because I know how you know how awesome black women are. So I'm like, okay, that's not surprising. And those of us that date black women love black women, not fetishizing. I mean, well, we get accused of it.
That's crazy because I have learned so many titles, phrases, um, all this different stuff that never even existed until I went on YouTube and actually started getting into
Oh,
it.
you know
It's
what?
unreal.
Yeah, I've learned stuff. I've learned racial slurs I never knew existed till I came to YouTube, right?
Hmm.
Um, and there's this black guy at work, and I asked him, I says, I have a question, and I'm not trying to be funny or nothing, but I just don't know. I said, what does this word mean? Um, I know it's a racial slur, but I've never heard it before. And I think it was like Sambo and Coon. And I'm like, what is that? And he says, you don't know what that means? I says, no. And he's just laughing at me. I said, what does it mean? What is it? Because the N word, right? But these other things, I was like, what is it? And he said, and he's just laughing at me. He said, and then he looked at me and says, you know what? You got good parents. I said, yeah, but what do you say? Because he said, because you don't know what that means. I'm like, okay, that was a
Yeah.
compliment. But then he explained it, and I was like, oh, okay. But those, I guess, were old terms used, racial like slurs. Uh,
Yeah, they're old redneck racist.
yeah, stuff I never heard. But it was like, wow. I'm just, but I learned that stuff from YouTube. I mean, and the simp thing, I was like, what is that? I hear people saying that. And I did a couple videos and some guy called me that. It's like, what's that mean? Is it a compliment or is it a put down?
Well, you know, when you get a bunch of people located in one place, and I'm just going to say YouTube,
Uh-huh.
you get the extreme one way and the extreme the other way, and you get an extreme. I mean, it's like the polar opposites, and they're following the compass, and then it just goes in circles. I think that's
Yeah.
why everybody is so protective of your channel because we don't run into that.
Yeah.
I mean, occasionally it comes by and visits, and then we, boot them
Yeah.
out. But there's a lot of hate going on in YouTube.
There is. And there's, I mean, boy, I felt the hate. I never thought that people would go in on me like they do for simple things about talking about my interracial marriage or saying good things about black women. It just blows my mind that people get triggered. I
Yeah.
mean, literally triggered on another man's life they don't even know. It's like,
Hmm.
wow, really? I upset you that much?
No, they're just people of small minds, is what they are.
Yeah, it's like
They,
they
they
don't.
get triggered with if the wind blows wrong.
Yeah, it's like they can't think out of the box. It's like they're just programmed to think one thing. It's just weird. Um,
Yeah. Well,
but
Brent, where I live, um, there are. I've worked for people that would make racist jokes,
uh-huh.
and the problem with that is, as soon as they do that, it has nothing to do with business at all. And the fact that
Yeah.
I'm related to the people they're making jokes about, and I'll actually jump right in the middle of them in a polite manner, but it's like, you shouldn't talk like that. I mean, these are multi-million-dollar company owners, and they
You know
look at me, and they got that stunned look on their face, like somebody had the nerve to tell them to shut up, and I don't even flinch.
You know what? I had this that happened to me. Um, this was back in the army. And it was like in the beginning of my career, but there we were doing some training or something, and one guy started saying racial slurs, and I'm like, what the heck?
Hmm.
And and I said, hey, and I knew, I knew him, but I never seen him say stuff like that, and it just blew my mind. I said, hey, you haven't seen my wife, have you? And yeah, he says, no, no. I said, hey, let me show you a picture. He says, okay. He was like, yeah, cool. I like this. And I
Uh-huh.
showed him, and he sees me with a black woman, and he had that deer in the headlight look, like
Hmm.
it was silence. And I says, well, what do you think? Uh, Nice picture. And I says, yeah, you know what? And that stuff you said, you better keep your dang mouth shut. Well,
Yeah,
I
I
cursed
bet.
him out. I wasn't polite like that.
He had it coming.
Ever say that again? I'm going to beat your boop boop, and then I'm going to report you for what you said. And you know what? That guy never talked to me again. It was like
Yeah.
avoided me like the plague. But and but people do that. They assume that sometimes they think you're a certain way because you look a certain way.
No,
I've had
it's
people tell me, like, when they meet my wife, all through my life, they says, well, you don't look like the kind of guy that would marry a black woman. And at first I'm like, what do you mean? What does that kind look like? What do you mean I don't look like that kind? Well, you don't act like that. You don't look like what? How am I supposed to act and look? I mean, I am who I am. I just, the woman I love happens to be black. So, but people assume that you're a certain way because of what you like. And A lot of times that ain't true. I know a lot of guys married to black women that don't talk with, slang and try to, you know, appropriate a certain culture. I mean,
Hmm. I'd
there's some
sound
guys that
stupid if I
do that,
tried.
but huh?
I'd sound stupid if I tried.
Yeah, I mean, and these guys do. I mean, and some people say, well, what if that's where they grow up? I says, yeah. Well, usually there is that, but some people that grew up that you can tell it's natural, it's not forced. You can tell when something's forced, when something just you know what I mean? Like people with accents, it's natural. But someone
Hmm.
that tries to, mimic that accent, you could tell it's fake. Unless Afro Angelique is doing it. She's great with accents. But other than
Yeah.
that, most people can't pull it off. It just
Mm-mm.
seems fake and silly, but I mean, people assume you're a certain way just how you look or how you sound. Um, it's crazy. It's like people have a perception of you and don't even know you.
Hmm. Yeah,
It's
I've had some of those guys ask me. They're like, "Well, why you sticking up for this race or this race?" And when they asked the dumb question, I was just like, "Hmm. Well, let's see. Your Latino comment, you're talking about my nephew's wife. Your black
uh,
comment, you're talking about my nephew's kids. Your Native American comments, you're talking about my nephew and my well, she's my ex sister in law now, but I got cousins up in Alaska that are Native Alaskan. It, then they look at you and it's like, how long do you want to sound stupid and how long do you want to see my face turn red because I'm about to hit you? You
yeah,
know, they're just arrogant. It's just arrogance.
yeah, just stupidity, and people don't know. You never know who you're talking to. You don't know who's their wife, who their my brother ran into that. He was and he talked to me about this when he was in Bible college. And this is Bible college, right? Around
Mm,
Christians. You think they would not be racist, right?
hmm.
But he told me, he says he was blown away that he heard people saying racial things. And where he went, people were from different parts of the country. He said he couldn't believe it.
Hmm.
And he would do the same thing I did. He says, "Hey, you know what? My brother, you got to see my brother and his wife and kids. They're and they'd be like saying, "Oh yeah, let me check it out." And then they see a black woman there, and it's like the
Mm,
same thing. Like I was telling you, he told me. He said that they would be just didn't know what to say.
mm.
Um, and that just broke my brother's heart because he was like all in it. He wanted to serve God, and he's just like, wow. Um, but even in Christian circles, you find racism and sinful crap. I mean,
Wow. Yeah, don't get me started. The Christian in name only. Mm,
yeah, I mean, if you're truly a Christian, you look at people as souls, not as race or different. You look at them as people, and we're born again in Christ. We're all one. That's how you're supposed to.
hmm.
But
Well, my nephew's kids, their grandparents,
uh
the dad is Latino
uh
and the mom is Dominican. Or the grandma.
uh
His my nephew's wife's parents. They are her dad Latino and her mom is Dominican. So the genes are really strong
uh
there. Yeah, people always look at me so funny when I basically make them eat their words right in front of me. I just I wish if I did carry pictures of everybody that was in my family in my wallet, I wouldn't be able to sit on it. But
You'd have to. Well, just carry around a photo album. Can you do that?
I'm not that techie. My son always
Yeah,
tries to get me to read a text when he's talking to me on the phone. It's like, dude, I'm gonna hang up on you if I try. Just no, let's just finish the conversation.
yeah.
I'll
Let's
look
just
I'll
talk
look at it
about it.
later.
You know what? I'm the same way when I'm at work and people, want me to do something. They'll send me a text, And they're like, "Didn't you get my text?" I said, "I don't know. I don't look at text. Call me on the phone. I have a cell phone, not a cell texting machine.
No
Call
kidding.
me.
Well,
I'm
I
old
do the
like
text.
that. I want to talk. I don't want to text. I don't. I don't know. It just people. That's what they do.
You know, the first text I ever sent, my little snot of a daughter, she takes a picture of me. She goes, "I can't believe my dad is sending a text." It was cracking me up. She thought I was just a, well, caveman. But
Yeah. Well.
yeah, you know, I mean, you think about people that look at you and they don't think you would ever marry a black woman
Yeah.
until they see your beautiful family, and then they probably, most of them, just walk away. But you know, is it any of their business? I mean, is it their job to determine who you should marry and who you shouldn't? And secondly, did you ask them? I mean,
Well. Well.
I
Here's
don't
my
remember
thing.
asking anybody.
You know the craziest thing is I'll have people give me a comment like saying, "Well, if you love black, are you doing this?" I'm like, "I married my wife. What? I mean, who are you to give me permission or not?" I mean,
Hmm.
it's weird. It's like, and I've heard black women say this that they feel sometimes they feel like they have to explain why they're with this white guy, like as if they need permission. And you know what's weird is it's the same thing for us. I'll catch myself like I've caught myself in the past explaining why I married my wife, why I love my wife. Like, why do I have to even say a thing? Like,
Hmm.
like you got to get permission. It's weird. It's like black women and white men are kind of on the same wavelength with that thing. And it's not that we feel we need to get permission. It's just like I guess we're questioning why we're doing it so much that we just explain it.
I don't know that
But
I'd have the patience to be that polite to somebody asking a stupid question.
I don't. I mean, there's times I did it, and then I'm like, wait a minute, who are
Hmm.
you to ask me why I do what I do? Um, I don't care
Yeah.
if you're black or white. You have no right to tell me who I can be with. If that woman, accepts my hand in marriage and loves me, and I love her, that's our business, not yours. I've never got on another man's platform and said anything about his wife or girlfriend, the woman he's with, whether she be black, white, or whoever. That's their business.
Yeah, that's none of my business.
As a man, you should respect another man.
Hmm.
I mean,
Well, see,
serious.
men have an understanding. If you're going to step in between a husband and wife, that husband might just put you in a culvert.
Yeah, I'm just like, you don't do that.
No, you don't.
Whether you think she's right for him or not, you just don't do that.
Yeah. Mm.
But the people that do that aren't real men. They're beta
No,
men.
they're boys.
They're
They're children.
they've been coddled their whole life, and it's like, they get triggered because probably the women in their community see them for what they are and don't want no part of them, so they're triggered because they see white men being successful with black women.
Could you
And
imagine the level of chaos and emotional disarray?
yeah, it's like,
Oof.
something's going on when a man's jealous of two people that he don't even know.
Mm.
It's one thing if he dated the woman before, I could see having feelings, but you don't even know these people and you get triggered. That's someone that needs therapy really
But
bad.
also to lack the wisdom to mind your own damn business.
Yeah,
I mean, wow.
it's crazy.
Yeah,
Um,
that is crazy.
but it's like, but these people are unstable too. You gotta be careful of people like that are that jealous. I mean, I've heard stories of people doing some heinous things to interracial couples, black men and or black women and white men. Um, you know, I mean, most people ain't like that, but there's a few weirdos that can't take that. There's something's unstable. Um,
Hmm.
It's like that Marine case that took place where that Marine had a black wife. He's a white guy, and they went in and sent them both to meet their makers, and then ungodly things to her, and made him watch and tortured him. And I don't know. This was like several years ago. I think it was like maybe 15 years ago. I don't know. I
Mm.
was in the army at the time, and some of the people were in his unit. He knew who they were, and I could see getting blindsided like that because when you're in the military, and like I was in the army, you had a cohesion, you had a bond, you trusted the men around you, black, white, Asian, you didn't care, you were brothers, and you had that bond. And maybe he got blindsided and they were jealous of him because he had a beautiful wife and they're both successful. And but I've seen things like that happen in the news and stuff, and it's like, wow. I mean, people are that bad. I mean,
Well,
wow.
Brett,
It's
how many godly people are actually left in the world?
Yeah, that's true. But and it goes both ways too. So I'm not just saying that that's the only people that are attacked. I mean, there are evil
No,
people in all groups, but just that people would go off jealousy that bad to where they can harm others.
mm,
And the thing of it is you could those guys could have had what that man had. They just got to put in the work. You want a good wife. You want a woman that has value. You got to put in the work.
no,
It don't just come to you.
these guys have been told that everybody deserves a trophy. You don't have to do nothing. You're just owed it.
Yeah, but these guys, they want that participation trophy without participating and be declared the winner. Tell me if I'm
Mm,
wrong. These weak beta male guys, tell me I'm not wrong. They want black women to be with them, to lift them up, do everything for them, and not do anything in return and be declared the best choice without even putting in the work. It's like you want that participation trophy while you sit on the couch, you don't even participate, and then be declared the winner. That's
hmm.
exactly what it is.
Yep. Sitting there sucking down a Slurpee.
Yeah, and be the MVP while everybody's on
Mm,
the field sweating. It's like, come on.
getting crazy.
Yeah, but I just this just blows my mind. I had to talk about this tonight because you know what? Black women don't get the credit that they deserve by no means, and us white men, we don't get credit either. We're deemed to be so evil, but yet we can have a successful marriage with a black woman. And
Hmm.
statistically, when we come together, we're the most successful. So tell me, how does that work?
Well, that's why they hate twice as much because you're
Because
twice
it's
as
not supposed
successful.
to happen that way. That's why
Well,
the Fed is, yeah,
yeah.
that's why the Fedization is pushed so much because they don't want to see you win. And they don't want to see black women win, and especially not with the white guy. They lose their mind over that. You
Well,
know,
if you think about the culture and who has the most issues with being narcissistic driven,
uh-huh.
I mean, who's going to make the most noise? It's going to be the narcissist.
Oh yeah,
It's not fair. It's not fair. It's not fair.
yeah.
Oh, I got to laugh. All I can do is laugh.
It's not fair. You're the fetishizer. Come on,
Yeah.
come on. Look, women. He's a fetishizer. Yeah, I know. I looked at your butt and talked about your skin tone, but he's the fetishizer.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but he just said he loves black women. Yeah, that's a fetishization. Like,
You know what? If they see me looking at a black woman and my eyes are about to fall out of my head and she's single, and if somebody says something, I'm going to look up as well. You blind?
right? That's when you should make your move. Just
Mm. Yeah, I wasn't ready to start dating when I seen that one lady in Costco, but she was with her girlfriend, and
uh-huh.
oh man, Brent, I tell you, I mean, I knew I wasn't ready to date,
Uh-huh.
but she was, yeah, she was.
Awesome, huh?
Well, her hair was right, and everything. Yeah, it was just one of them things. Well, that day it was me totally. I wasn't ready.
Yeah, but you never know though.
Well, after 27 years of being married, I knew I wasn't ready.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, I get it.
Yep.
I just wow. I don't know. I just think people are crazy. A lot of this makes no sense. Um, it's like, but you know what? I tell people, you know what? Go for the best choice. Go for the best lady or ladies. Go for the best man, whatever that is. I'm not
Mhm.
going to tell you white man is the best choice. I
No.
I just, I just said looking statistically, black women, white men have the most successful marriages. That's it. That's what I'm saying, and that's fact. That ain't me making this up. Um, you know, and people are going to get triggered. But look at the stats. If you think I'm wrong, I mean, I'm
Well, what I believe it's two people who have enough courage to tell everybody else where to get off.
yeah,
And those people are already naturally courageous and they do well in life. So it comes down to the courage.
yeah. I think you're right, and I think black women, white men that get together, they stepped out of their comfort zone. They went where they wanted to be, and they just did it. They didn't let society dictate what they did. They didn't let their family, friends, or anything. They made their decision. They did what they wanted to do.
Hmm.
It's like they're a free thinking individual. Hey, this is the best option. This woman is the best option.
Hmm.
Most beautiful, most successful, most loving. Yeah, I'm going with that. And these ladies are saying, okay, this man's the better provider. He's doing what he should be as a man. So I'm going there. So when we
Hmm.
get together, I think that's how we're doing it. We're strategic in that thing.
Well,
Me and my wife, we're strategic.
the ironic part of it, Brett, is when you say that free thinking, independent thinking, you're basically explaining adulthood.
Yeah.
How many people do not operate like adults?
Yeah. And people, th- I think I blow people's minds when I speak highly of black women, and they're like, "Well, you got white women. What about white women? Why?" One guy says, "Oh, you're tired of looking at beautiful white women." Like what? I'm just like, it's got nothing to do with that. It's about choosing the best woman for the job, and it happens to be a black woman. Sorry, you know what? I have a preference, and there's a reason. It goes beyond the beauty, the outside. It goes to the inside. It goes deep. There's a reason. There's a purpose, and I can explain it. It's not just something. Hey, I like black women. I'm going to go. No, there's more behind it, and that's
You know,
why.
I had these white guys, and they would talk about these white women, and like supermodels and stuff.
Mhm.
And they look at me and they go, "Isn't she just amazing and beautiful?" And I look at her and say, "Well, she's got a pretty face, but her body looks like a 12-year-old boy." And oh my God, you would not believe that. Well, you can imagine, but you know what I mean. She looked like a stick figure with puffy lips and makeup. That was it. And I'm
Yeah,
like, dang, okay, so they need to give her a sandwich. Ain't nothing
yeah.
to her. I don't
Michelle
know.
B. Michelle B says it's always about. It's
White
always
women.
what about white? Yeah, I've heard that all my life. You know
Yeah.
what? I've you know from the time I was dating till I got married, I heard, well, you don't like white women? What's wrong with white women? You don't think they're beautiful? What? I mean, it's like
It's like they're giving
Why
you
do
a
you
sales
care?
pitch.
Huh?
They're trying to give you a sales pitch on something, on a product you don't want.
Yeah, it's like, okay, look, if I wanted to be with a white woman, that would be too easy. You know,
Mm,
they're all around. They're the biggest. They're the majority in America is white women. So come on, and
mm,
they're in my family. They're in my community. They're in my neighborhood. But why didn't I go that way? Let me tell you, because I found a better option in the black woman. Sorry, it
mm,
just is what it is. You don't have
mm.
to agree with it. You don't have to have the same choice I do. But that's what I chose, and I have a reason. I could tell you. You know, there's guys out there that choose to be with a certain woman, can't really tell you anything about her. They can just say, "Well, she's beautiful," or you know.
You know what's
Yeah,
funny? All these people do this to the white guy or the black woman. Like, why can't you pick a black man, or why can't you pick a white woman? But
yeah, it's like
do you ever hear them do that about the LGBT, the alphabet community? Like, why can't you pick some? I
yeah,
shouldn't even start this. I shouldn't even go
yeah.
there. But you
We
never hear of the other. If a black gentleman goes with a white woman, do you ever hear him talk about it?
I never do. In fact, I hear people like celebrating. Oh, cool, you're with her. That's great.
The
That's what
only
I hear. I don't hear, oh well, what you fetishizing her? What you just want to, you just have a fantasy about her? I don't ever hear that said. I
Yeah,
never
most
I
most of
never.
them just say, "Oh,
But
you
the
got
other
you a
way
trophy
I
wife,
hear it,
huh?"
but when we do it, Corey, it's like when
Oh,
white guys do it, oh, you're a fetishizer. What? You just have a fantasy? What? Oh, you don't like white women, or you just want to see what it's like? No, I just want to be with her because I love her. Get that through your head, you
mm,
know. I mean, come on. But
yep.
yeah, it's like a double standard. It's like they can do it, but we can't. It's like black black men, white women can do whatever they want, but black women, white men, no, we're not allowed. We got to stay race loyal. We got to stay where we're at. Tell me I'm wrong. Seriously,
Well,
it's like,
the only time other people's opinions matter is when you make them important,
yeah, that's
and I
true,
just choose not to listen.
right? But you know what? The thing of it is this that's the fun in it because I'm choosing my own path and people are triggered, and I'm like, it makes no sense, but okay, be triggered,
Yeah,
you know.
just a
And,
special kind of special.
yeah, if it makes you feel better to call me a fetishizer or whatever, I mean, go ahead and
Yeah, you
enjoy.
feel like giving them an
I'm
ice cream bar and a towel to cry in. I mean, just get over it, sweetheart.
easy bake oven. I mean, I can, yeah.
Mm.
That participation trophy right next to your easy bake oven with with that Play-Doh
Oh,
ice cream machine. I mean, we can.
oh.
You know those easy bake ovens? My daughters had those.
Oh, yeah, I remember.
they it's funny because it's like a little thing. It's got a light bulb, and I remember going to the store because my daughter would, she was, so excited she's going to make us cupcakes and cookies, and they have these little packets you buy in the store. I don't know if they still have the easy bake oven, but they would get. Both my daughters had this, but they would get these little like they'd have brownies or cookies, different packets that you could cook in the easy bake oven, and what it cooked off was a light bulb.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was
made the
just
little pan hot.
yeah, and made it the dough rise. I guess it was just that it was like we'd have snacks. Our daughter would be so proud she'd make us cookies, and
You
it
know,
was
there's a terrible smart aleck side to me. I might just get a bunch of free coupons for Happy Meals, and every time somebody walks by me when I'm finally getting married, and I'm just like, "Here's a coupon for a Happy Meal. You just don't get happy. You just go away. Don't go away mad, but just go away. Here's a Happy Meal." You know.
Or when somebody stares at or gives you a dirty look, walk up and say, "Hey, I noticed you're looking at me and my wife. We want to give you a Happy Meal so you can have something to be excited about."
Here's an extra one. You know, you might need two. You look a
Yeah.
little depressed. Yeah, you know, you were in the military, and I've been in blue collar for a long time, so
Uh-huh.
you can imagine the stuff we've heard,
Oh man.
the stuff we've said. I got two older brothers,
Uh-huh.
so yeah, my mom and my aunt, they're twins, so I've basically got four older brothers. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah, wow. You know what, Corey, maybe I'm wrong for this, but sometimes I love when trolls come in with their comments and stuff. I,
You're not wrong. You're not
I
wrong.
just sometimes when they come on, I get a little excited because maybe we can. I don't know. I just, I yeah, I don't know.
Well, it's
Um,
either educate or obliterate,
yeah,
but it
our
usually
both,
goes
you know.
around an eight. You know, I think we're good at counting though, because it's either educate or obliterate. Yeah, Mr. Clark.
You know what? We
Uh,
ought to. You know what? I think this channel would blow up if we had like one day a week where we brought Mr. Clark up. We call it the
oh,
Mr. Clark Show. You,
that
you know,
guy he would need therapy every week.
you know what? I don't think he would last though. He hadn't been back.
No,
I think
no.
he got his feelings hurt.
I'd feel
Um,
guilty. I'd have to buy him some vacation package or something to go recuperate. You need to recharge, buddy, and then come back so we can have some more fun at your
we
expense.
have to take a collection so he can get some therapy after the show. Go see a doctor.
Take a collection. I like that one. That's funny. Get him 2 scoops of ice cream, maybe three.
Yeah, have a GoFundMe for Mr. Clark's therapy. Uh,
Uh,
yeah. I wonder if that. I don't. I bet that wasn't even his name. I think he just.
well, he probably had, he went by the name Clark, but under his top shirt, he had the S on his chest,
Oh
had his
yeah.
Superman shirt on, give him a little bit of courage.
Oh, Clark Kent.
Yeah.
He's more like a Clark Griswold.
Well, it is a special day when Waldo comes to visit.
Oh yeah.
When we get a wandering Waldo.
Yeah, Wandering Waldo. Doo-doo-doo-doo. Mr.
Can you
Clark.
hear the circus music already? I can.
Doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. Yeah. Oh man.
Special kind of stupid.
Ah,
Are you going to
yeah.
get in trouble? You've been on here 3 hours. I mean,
Oh yeah. I better close it down. It is 11:30, and I do have to go to work. But
mm,
you know what I do all day? I sit down and answer phones.
oh, brutal.
That's all I do. I
Oh,
hate
it's
it.
brutal.
It sucks. I love working outside. I don't like. I mean, yeah, it is
Hmm.
what it is. And I got 3 weeks of this. Um,
Oh, your brain's going to melt.
yeah, I'm gonna feel like a secretary, and I'm
Oh, no
just
slight against the secretary, but you just don't look good
no.
in
I
lip.
just that's just
You,
not me. I'm a
you
blue
don't look,
collar guy. My
yeah.
my job is outside.
Well, you
I
don't look
mean,
good in lipstick and earrings, so you're just not cut out for this.
well, no, I no, I don't look good anyway. Just period. I'm better off outside. I'm just going to say it.
There you
Um,
go.
yeah, well, my whole life has been outside. You think after high school was straight to the military. I've always lived out in the elements, and I'm
Hmm.
always outside. And I can't. I don't know. I just have to be out there somewhere. I can't be when I'm in the house. I get especially with this injury, I get, jittery. Like I want to go do something. I got to get out of here. And I tell my wife, we got to go somewhere. Let's do something. She's like, well, what about your foot? Well, that's fine. Just, I mean, there was one night I said, look, we'll go to Walmart or Target and I'll get in one of those carts and just ride around in it. I just got to get out of the house. It was just, let's go shopping for the granddaughter. Something.
Yeah, let's go do something. She's going to be ready for you to go back to work so she can have a vacation.
I know, right?
She'd be calling all of her girlfriends. He's gone.
Right.
He's back at work.
Yeah. Sandy's taking good care of me, though. I mean,
oh yeah.
I tell you what, one thing about this I could say is good is I got to spend more time with my wife, and that's always a blessing.
That's good.
And we spend a lot of time together when I'm working too. I mean, but it just been nice to be, just get next to her on the couch and just put my arm around her and watch TV. I just, sit out on the porch and let's look at the lights. The other night we're sitting out there and it was raining and it was pretty cool. It was like it was raining and there was thunder in the sky and it was nice and cool and we're sitting out there on the porch. It was nice. I just enjoyed doing that, and that was,
I think one of my favorite times of the year is either springtime or fall when the weather's changing. Because there's a loop you can go down here in Oregon. I call it the loop or the circle. You go down I-5 and then you cut over to the coast on 101, and then you come back up 101 and then come back over to I-5 again. But in the spring and in the fall, it's raining, but the sun's out and it's lighting up the ocean when you're driving up 101, and it's just, it's kind of like a stormy, sunny day, if that makes sense,
Yeah.
But the waves are big on the ocean because the wind's kicking up. It's just pretty cool.
Yeah, Deborah Williams says interracial relationships have been around since air. Yes.
Yeah, they have.
Why do we have a problem with it? I mean, why do people have a problem? Who cares who you're with? If you're happy, you're happy. Shouldn't we be happy with each other? Corey, I talked about this. Sometimes you get subscriber trolls. It's people that subscribe to your channels but like to troll you.
Yep.
I had this one guy, and I made a video, and I was talking about my wife and kids, and he said a mean comment like, what you're doing is wrong, and he said your half-breed kids, are confused and don't like you, and I don't know why you're doing this, and why do you got to talk about it? And
I don't know about you, but if somebody called my kid half-breed in a derogatory,
oh no, I let him have it. I told him he was a piece of crap. Well, I said a lot more than that, but and I says, and you know what? You should be happy for me that I found true love. And no, my kids aren't confused. They're very successful. They're, at the time, two were going to college and one was graduating high school. So I was like, no. And he says, no, I can't be happy for you because what you're doing is wrong. And I just like, yeah. But yeah, I told him a piece of my mind. But what am I going to do? I don't know who it is. He's a keyboard warrior. Yeah. I want to do what I want.
He's Braveheart on the buttons.
Yeah. Yeah. He's an internet ninja. Internet ninja.
Yeah, he's typing keyboards and yelling freedom at the same time, and he's the only claymore he's got's an empty slushy cup.
Yeah. He got so excited he spilled his coffee while he's
yeah, I mean, that's actually doing pretty good for living in his mama's basement or his
Hey, well,
grandmama's basement.
yeah, that's right. Well, that's what you're supposed to do when you grow up. Live in the basement, right?
Uh, well, some people have a little bit more of an aspiration than that.
Right. You know what? There was this it's funny. You ever go to your high school reunion, Corey? Like years beyond 20, 30 years?
Mine was 3,000 miles away.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, me and my wife went to a couple reunions, and it's funny that you see and you know, I recently met with old friends back in high school. And you know, just it's it's weird just seeing how people turned out because you remember back when you were teenagers, when you're out doing crazy things, being young and dumb, and um, you know, you see, and I seen friends I had, and some have turned out to be nothing. So you know, and there's a couple living at home still, my age, and then you know, there's a couple that are real successful. You know, you just it just how people chose their path, you know, and how they ended up.
Well, I tell you, for me, the girls I used to date, a
Uh,
lot of my responses was, "Whew, dodge that bullet."
oh gosh, you know what?
I mean,
Oh,
wow.
let me tell you, there's this one girl in high school I was crazy about. Back in the day, she was fine. I'm going to tell you, she was just beautiful, right? And oh, she kicked me to the curb, and well, I
Mhm.
dated her for a little bit, but it was like she wasn't into me, and then she kicked me to the curb, and I was like, you know, I seen her years later, and she's gained a lot of weight, and she's aged, and I'm like, wow,
Yeah.
you I was like, wow, and been through, you know, talking to this woman, and we're friends, and we're cool, but it was like, um, she's telling me about divorces she had and how, you know, things didn't work out, and I'm like, oh, thank God. I didn't say that, but I was thinking,
No, but you were thinking it.
oh,
You were
thank you,
thinking
Lord. I prayed that she would like me, but I'm glad that you took charge and knew what I really needed. I was like, oh,
it.
and I don't mean to be funny, but it was just like you just
Mm.
never know. I mean,
You know, I was on Facebook briefly.
uh,
And when I say briefly, I mean maybe 3 months. And I've seen a lot of those people,
uh,
up north. And I don't know if any of them are listening. Let's just say I was blessed to get out.
oh yeah,
I'll just leave it there. So,
yeah. You know what? I just look at it. And you know, there's some friends that I had no longer walk the earth that got into drugs and stuff. You just don't, you know, the thing of it is in life, you know, the choices you make will impact your life. Really.
yeah, they follow you.
Yeah. I mean, ooh, I look at my life and I'm like, oh, thank God I didn't do that, or thank God this turned out to be okay. And I looked at the, you know, and I don't judge people that make mistakes. I don't because I've got more than my share, and thank God that I turned out okay. And you know, but I just like, wow, you know, and thanks to my father, I made a lot of good decisions. You know, I didn't, you know, do all dumb stuff. You know,
Hmm.
yeah. Afro Angelique, I'm about to get in trouble with Sandy. Yeah.
Talking about your exes.
Oh yeah. Well, um, but you know, I look back and I'm just like, I'm glad I married Sandy. You know, that's you know, God was involved in that one. I mean,
You know, I still kind of kick myself a little bit when I didn't go do that underwater welding in Texas
mhm.
because there was more black girls down there. I mean, at the time when I had the opportunity to go, I think I was 18, 19, something like that. You know,
Uh-huh.
that kid, the kid in the picture, I was that age.
Yeah.
Yeah, I should have took that. That'd have been something else.
Yeah. Well, you never know how. I mean, well, now you can. You going to take that underwater
No,
welding?
no, not these days.
uh,
Nope.
that takes a skill, though, don't it? I mean, you can make big
Well,
money doing that stuff.
oh shoot. What you make in a day is what most people takes them all week to make.
Yeah. I mean, but yeah, where would you work though? Shipyards, maybe, or just
No, it'd be oil rig repair,
Oh, okay.
underwater pipe, communication cable, coverings, all kinds of stuff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's it's big time stuff. Yeah. It's also dangerous too, because something might come up and chew on your leg, or God
Oh,
forbid,
yeah.
a chain break and pin you underneath there. And I mean, you could die pretty easy.
Can you get electrocuted doing that too?
Well, yeah, everything's possible. I mean, you're
Yeah,
holding a
I
lot of
just
juice in your hand.
yeah, and you're in water. I don't know. Electricity and water, that's not a good combo.
You know, when you're young and crazy and you're fearless, you just, I don't know. When I was a little kid, I used to catch rattlesnakes and stuff. I mean, so fearless wasn't really the issue.
Yeah.
Um, I had a lot of opportunities to do different things. Yeah,
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna have to close this down. I'm well past my bedtime.
yeah,
I was
you are.
told 2 hours and it's three, and so I.
Well, I'm gonna get off here, let you close this up, and thank you for having
Okay.
me up
Hey,
here.
thanks for coming on, Corey. And Afro Angelique, thank you for coming on, young lady.
Oh, Brent,
Um,
did you get my email?
yeah, I did.
Okay, okay.
Yeah. Um, I don't know who that is.
She was a really popular singer around 1927. Really, really popular.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'll look. I'll research that. Yeah.
yeah.
And
It's a difficult story to read.
is
Well, that was back in the segregated hospitals.
okay.
Bad car wreck. You can imagine.
Oh, and they didn't treat her the way they should have.
They sent her to another hospital because there were so many. Well, I'll let you read it. It's just,
Yeah,
it's like
I think
one after another that just keeps making you mad. It's just like, this is insane.
that's a story I don't want to read, but I'll look
Mm.
into it. Wow.
There's a beautiful woman, successful, and to have to go that way is
Yeah.
just, she is determined. You got to give her that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, I'm
I'll
going to get out of here.
Okay, Corey. Thanks for coming on.
Good night,
Afro
baby.
Angelique.
Hey,
Hey, how's it going?
fine. I see Corey ran away.
Yeah. Well, I was getting ready to close.
No problem. I just wanted to say thanks for the opportunity to be on, and it is time for you to go because Sandy is probably about to come to the door and look at you.
Well, actually, she's sleeping away. She's tired, but that's probably why I'm not in trouble right now. but but thanks for coming on, and thanks for the show the other night. And I always appreciate you coming on. And I wish before you went off, I showed you that cartoon
Yes,
picture.
I love it.
Yeah, I can email it to you.
Please do so. I appreciate it.
It's an app, but what it does is it lightens the skin tone. Because it made you look like real light complected.
I
But
kind of looked kind of white. Yeah.
yeah. But yeah, I can. Yeah, I'll send it to you though. It did come out good though. It's got your features good, and I put palm trees in the background, so you're like at a vacation. So
Oh, okay.
I yeah, it's a program. It's just an app on my phone, like I did my cartoon pictures for the
Hmm.
videos and stuff. Yeah, you just take a picture and you turn it into a cartoon. It's pretty cool. And yeah, but anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and shut down. Thanks for coming on, and thanks for
Thank
and
you.
Sandy told me to tell you thank you for that interview and stuff. She said she had a good time,
I didn't
and
even realize it was going to turn into what it turned into. And
it,
so I thank you for the opportunity, and I'm glad that everybody enjoyed it.
yeah, I had a good time. Both me and my wife, we were, laughing, and then afterwards we're laughing and stuff. And I was like, "Oh, great! Now you're going to air out my dirty laundry back." Like, she's like, "Oh yeah, I had to." Like, okay, but that was the fun in it. Um,
Yeah. But thank you for doing and thank you for everything that you do and all the positivity and love that you bring into this space.
oh, thank you, and thanks, the love you bring, and everybody in the chat. You guys lift me up. You really brighten my day. You do. I mean, um, and this is a hobby. This is something I love to do. This ain't a job. This ain't something I do to make money. This is just something I love. This is something I love talking to you guys. I've met so many of you ladies and you guys just by doing YouTube, just talking, telling you my feelings, what I think, and getting your guys' perspective. That's what's neat. And that's where we learn. We're from different parts of the country. We really are. Um, from California to the Midwest to New York to Canada, South Africa, Jamaica, Trinidad, the UK.
You're
I mean,
worldwide.
yeah, the Bahamas. I've seen, I get the analytics, and then sometimes little countries in Africa pop up where people are watching me. It's pretty cool. But I love doing this, and I love connecting uh, with you guys. I do. You ladies are awesome, and you guys too are awesome. And I like talking to you. I like connecting, and that's what it's about.
Hmm.
Because it's uplifting to all of us. We should be like we're a family, even though we're not in the same place. You know,
No, we have each other's back. It
yeah,
always You can always see it in the chat. We have each other's back, and that's what I love about your channel.
yeah, and I will say this too, and I get love from you guys, even when sometimes we get into things and the topic
Crazy.
goes crazy, and sometimes we get in our feelings a little bit, but we still love each other, and it still works out, and that's what I like. That's what's really uplifting. That the maturity and the love we have for each other, that we try to understand each other instead of trying to check each other, and that's love, that's maturity, and I love seeing that, and I embrace that. I do.
Yeah.
um you
But
know
let's go ahead and we both got to do stuff tomorrow.
yeah.
So, um
Oh,
I had to do a lot of resetting. So,
oh yeah, that happens, but thanks for coming on. I enjoyed it, Corey. I enjoyed you, sir. um
you guys
I
had a great y'all had a great session. So you guys should have I think you, Corey, and Michael should do something where you guys on the panel. I think it would be very interesting.
You know what? That would be a good idea. You up for it, Michael and Corey? We can have a man session. We talk about anything you guys want to talk about. We can, yeah, get the guys' perspectives. Yeah, that would be a good idea. I'm going to try to do the dating show if I get enough people Friday. If not, we'll just go into a different topic. But we'll have a show. We'll have fun either way. Um,
We always have fun. We make a way out of no way.
yeah, we do. Yeah, we sure do, and I love it. It's awesome. And but anyway, I'll see you guys Friday night. Um, you guys be safe out there. Um, you know, God bless you and your family. And thank you, Afro Angelique and Corey. You guys be safe. God bless you and your families. Um, if you got any prayer requests, send it to my email. Um, but I love you guys. You're family to me. And I said, I enjoy this so much. This is awesome. Um, but anyway, I got to get to work tomorrow. So I got to get to bed. So I'll see you guys Friday. What time did I say? 7 o'clock Eastern time. Okay. 7 o'clock Eastern time. I'll put it in the community page. Okay. As soon as I close out, I'll put all the time zones from Eastern to Pacific. Okay. So you can pick your time zone. But anyway, guys, God bless you and your families. And I'll see you on the next show, Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern. All right. Have a good night. God bless.